when I saw that yesterday, I said, watch when I see Damo. It's about to be some bullshit. I already know it.
It's not bull. It's not bull for my part.
Respect the 3-guard lineup.
I'm not trolling when I say this. I'm not being a hater when I say this. I'm not being unfair or nothing. There is no reason that we're going into day 1, day 2 of media day, the first days of training camp, and you talking about 3-guard lineups, man. There's no way. There's no way we're still doing this. And I'm crazy for calling this man a terrorist. Oh, I'm theorizing. I'm strategizing in my head already. I can't wait. All these different lines we're going to make. Hey, man, I'm thinking about putting 3 guards in there. Well, why? Why are we putting 3 guards in there? We just lost to a team with a historically great offensive big, and you worried about putting 3 guards on the court. Oh, my God. Terrorist talk. He did it just for me. Just to spite me, I swear he did. There's no reason to throw that in there. No one even asked about no one asked about lineups. That wasn't even a question. He brought it up out of nowhere. He's a terrorist. A terrorist.
Shout out Darvin Ham first off for tapping into the panel and hearing Damo's takes on him. But Damo, like for real, serious question. 2 questions, actually. If you guys are to run a 3-guard lineup, preferably which one works the best?
There is no reason to run a 3-guard lineup. There's no. I can't think of a reason.
Austin Reeves.
Gabe Vincent.
Hell yeah.
Why would those 3 be on the court? Why, are we playing the Warriors? Why would those 3 be on the court at the same time?
That's a great lineup against the Warriors.
Since Steve Kerr was Klay Thompson guarding power forwards. So
right.
Everyone.
Damo, do you not care about the small ball lineup, Damo? Do you not care about that?
I promise you, I don't think the Warriors are winning a championship this year, so I'm not worried about the small. What other team is there to worry about in terms of playing small? That's a threat to win. The Bucks aren't playing small.
The Clippers might play small.
The Clippers
might play small.
I'm not even being a hater when I say ain't nobody really worried about the Clippers if we're talking about real life. This ain't 2K where you can turn injuries off. This is real life. So no one's worried about the Clippers. The Clippers will always clip. The Flippers will always flip. It always happens. I'm not worried about that. When I'm being so serious when I say contending teams that you have
Dallas.
Championships, which one of them are playing small? Which ones of them are playing small for real? That you need Boston, and D'Lo. Playing small?
That's how you're gonna counter them. They're gonna be so big that your guards are gonna be so quick up and down the floor that you're gonna have to play the bigs off the floor because Gabe Vincent, Dame D'Lo, and Austin Reeves are just moving them out the paint and moving too fast.
No, but look, Derek White, Drew, and Jalen. I mean, Austin. Hey, look, as much hype as Austin Reeves has been getting, he should be able to match up with Jalen Brown. You know what I'm saying? As much as I've heard about Austin Reeves
at 6'4".
Austin Reeves is a part of a big 3. He's a superstar, potentially all-star starter. I'm saying that's what I've been hearing from the Laker media cartel all summer. The Laker media cartel, y'all run the world. I've been hearing so much about Austin Reeves. He should be able to match up with Jalen Brown.
I'm not gonna lie.
I definitely didn't hear the superstar.
I'm gonna say the only type of propaganda.
I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to say superstar.
The only
they just rubbed off on you, Ox. They just slipped out.
Fuck yeah. But what I'm saying though, like Austin, there's no reason Austin Reeves shouldn't be able to match up with Jalen Brown.
He's not as good as him.
I genuinely don't think he can guard him. I
agree with that though. Y'all a championship contender, right? So when y'all go to the finals and play against the Celtics, and he got to get with Jalen Brown, you guys need Austin Reeves to step up to the plate. I'm not saying play better than him, but Austin, you got to get down. Jalen Brown's your matchup.
Can I ask you a question? What's the gap between Michael Porter Jr. and Jalen Brown, y'all? What's the gap?
Michael Porter Jr. and Jalen Brown?
Yeah, what's the gap?
It's a gap. It's
a definite gap. First of all, Jalen is a better defender. I think he's a better one-on-one player.
Oh, okay. So it's a gap in favor of Jalen Brown.
Austin Reeves couldn't deal with MPJ.
Thank
that's
you.
the point again.
Austin Reeves couldn't deal with MPJ. He couldn't do it against Michael Porter Jr. And I don't think he takes this great leap to just be that much better because he got paid. Listen, I love Austin Reeves. I don't want to trade him. I'll push the necessary propaganda with it. But to say that, oh yeah, if we're playing small ball lineups, hey man, AR got to be ready to go head to head with Jalen freaking Brown at 6'4". 215 on a good day. Austin Reeves is not a big dude. I'm worried about defense. Scoring, yes, I personally think Austin Reeves can keep up relatively in a game scoring-wise with Jaylen Brown. I think that could happen. But defending Jaylen Brown is a whole different situation. And that's why I don't want to run three-guard lineup.
He can't go left. Just send him
left. You say that to a significant size advantage, and he doesn't have to really go left. He can go where he wants because Austin Reeves can't guard him. That's why we don't need to run three-guard lineups. It's defense.
Well, first of all, with the Michael Porter Jr., I think that's a bad comparison because number one, we're talking about a catch and shoot guy who's 6'10". That's all he does. It's not like they're running stuff for him where he's one-on-one against Austin Reeves and he's just frying him. It was catch and shoot in the offense. That's number one. Number two, when you look at the Western Conference, so for example, the Memphis Grizzlies, when they run Ja, Marcus Smart, and Desmond Bane, you can run that three-guard lineup that you have. I don't love it, but I don't hate it neither. Right? So when you're playing against Cleveland, when they got Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell and Strus on the floor, you could run that three-guard lineup. That I don't love it, but I don't hate it neither. So I think that maybe let's take the terrorist tag off Darvingham, and how about we just put I'm thinking of the word here. How about we just put maybe he's a deviant. How about that?
No, he's a terrorist. Again, that sounds great in terms of on paper, size-wise, it makes sense. I'm still worried about that defense. Gabe Vincent is not the most capable defender. To me, I thought he was average, maybe below average, but I didn't think he was this great defender. D'Lo can't. He's a cone on defense. D'Lo can't guard.
Maybe a delinquent, Damo.
Terrorist. You give me if I can get a three-guard lineup that has good defense, I'm okay. That's all I care about because defense is our issue that led to us losing last year. Our offense it had its flaws. LeBron definitely was settling for shots that age, regression, injury, whatever it was, he just wasn't being himself or being like the LeBron we're used to. So that kind of killed it for us. But defense is the most important thing on this team. And we already got it on the interior, that's fine. But if you're telling me we're running three-guard lineups, AD is about to get worn out defensively yet again. And it's going to look disgusting. Then we're going to get action.
That's going to happen the whole
one
game
is 30 points. We watched the season of it happening. We watched it in the playoffs happen. I've seen this already. I've seen this movie last year. I know what's going to happen. We're going to go small. That small lineup can't guard. AD gets drained defensively because he has to do way more because this lineup is not operable. And they're talking about running LeBron at the 5 for this lineup. He's in year 21. What are we doing? What are we doing? LeBron's going to be the best defender on the court unless it's Vando and LeBron, which, oh, my God, man, Vando's going to get tore up. Not as in he can't guard. He's going to wear himself out playing so much defense in that lineup. Same with LeBron.
So much defense. Damo, what else is he there for? That's his job to play
so much defense. Exactly,
Bob. A lot of defense, not all the defense. He shouldn't be playing all the defense, man. What are we talking about?
Hey, he got to earn that check, Damo. He can't do nothing on the other end, man.
And you do, and if I'm not mistaken, didn't y'all have the best defense in the game last year from after the All-Star break, even in the playoffs? You just ran into a juggernaut. Sometimes better offense beats great defense. That's number one. Number two, when you think about small guard lineups, you do have to match that. So when the Memphis Grizzlies go Marcus Smart, John Morant, and Desmond Bane, you're not going to go Rui, Vando, and another big guard. You're not going to do that.
Why not?
See, this is what I mean when I'm talking about strategy.
I like that for the Lakers. If I'm the Lakers, I'm just going big all year. Just going
dominate
big.
with size.
We just thugging. We just big as hell all year round. Man. Like to me, Gabe Vincent and D'Lo are never touching the hardwood together.
It should never be a situation where Gabe Vincent and D'Lo are. Who else are point guards on this team? Who are our other point guards? I mean, other LeBron. I guess
Jalen Hood-Schifino. Is
Jalen going to be playing, or are we going to have him in the G League?
I don't know. How you be knowing these niggas, Mars? Who is Jalen Hood-Schifino?
They just drafted him this year.
J Hood?
They just drafted him this year. He was at the 7th.
That was our first round pick.
Oh, sorry. I'll just
what's his name?
I'm not trying to butcher that man's name. I don't mean no disrespect.
Jason Hoochie-Jima?
I just,
from Japan, Mars?
him and Rui is cousins, bro. Like, I don't know, man. But
Yo, but Damo, though. So I want to know now, like, what defensive lineups, like, y'all need to stop. It's coming down the stretch. Defense has been bad. You guys need to get stops down the stretch. What are, like, 3 lineups that you actually like?
For me personally, and let me pull this roster.
And I know obviously it's based on the team, but just in general.
Your best all-around defense.
So you playing against Sacramento, Damo, and it's a 2-possession game, and it's 6 minutes. It's 6 minutes left. It's 6 minutes left. It's a 2-possession game. Who are we going with down the stretch to end it?
To end it, for me personally, if I'm looking for the best defense, just to handle everything we got to handle, cover all our bases. Personally, I'm going Reeves at the 1. I'm gonna say Taurean Prince is gonna be listed at the 2, but Taurean Prince,
this
LeBron
is activity right here. This is
terrorist activity. Okay, again, Reeves, Taurean Prince, Bron, Christian Wood, AD. That is what I would go with. Christian Wood, yes.
Okay.
Christian Wood, yes.
So you go with a defensive lineup, even though Christian Wood is a liability defensively.
Liability is crazy.
No, it's not crazy. He is 100%.
I'm saying your two best defenders, except for AD. Well, your second and third best defenders isn't it Gabe Vincent and Vanderbilt, and those two on the bench?
I don't think Gabe Vincent is. Our
and do not negate. And
Vanderbilt's your second best defender.
This is the end of the game, and sorry, depending on, and it is the matchup dependent. But I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't want Vando in the game offensively, and unless we're about to call a timeout to change possessions, I'm thinking
offensive, defensive side.
Yeah, so I'm thinking for both ends, I would rather have Christian Wood in there to end the game than Vando, as long as AD's with him. I feel like playing Christian Wood with AD. I think Christian Wood's good.
Damo, that shit used to be like embarrassing. No, I ain't gonna lie. When it's like a minute and 50 seconds left on the court. And my coach know, like, nah, man, get him out of there.
Hey,
get him out of there. They're gonna be on that hack. They're gonna be hacking it. Shoot the get his ass out of there.
Get him off the floor.
Be like, yo, get the rebound, coach. I get the rebound, coach. All right, come on.
Yeah, nah. See, and I'm not trying to do that with Vando. So more times than not, I mean, there's plenty of times and plenty of situations where obviously I will want Vando on the court, but I'm just thinking if I gotta go down court and I don't got no timeouts, I can't just get a switch of a lineup and change every possession like this is football. I would rather have Christian Wood as long as AD's in the game. Now, if AD's not there, scrap that. I would say probably Vando and Jesus. If AD's hurt, Jackson Hayes, yeah, we're fucked regardless. But Jackson Hayes and Vando, that would be if AD's not there. I won't want Christian Wood there if AD's not there.
Well,
I feel like Christian Wood is decent rim protecting wise, so at least he's there. If he's on the court, he can at least block a shot. I give him a chance to block a shot and can grab a board.
Well, Gabe Vincent already showed that in the finals and in the playoffs. He showed that he can knock down open shots, right? We already know who Austin Reeves is in terms of being able to go to him to get him shots. You've seen that. Also, D'Lo is another guy who's shown that he can make shots, not just in the regular season, but in the playoffs. So when you get these three guys going, what's wrong with that lineup, Damo?
Well, one, again, I don't think there should be any situation where D'Lo and Gabe Vincent are on the court together.
Why?
And two, D'Lo, listen, some nights D'Lo is the exact guy that you're talking about. He's the exact guy that you're explaining. And other nights, he is D'Angelo Russell. And D'Angelo Russell, sometimes we've seen it in the playoffs. The Warrior series, D'Lo was there. When we played the Nuggets, that was D'Angelo Russell. That was not D'Lo. That was D'Angelo. And I don't like watching D'Angelo play. I'd rather have him on the bench if he's going to play like D'Angelo. And I was happy at some points when he was playing like D'Angelo, we had Dennis Schroeder there. I am of the belief if you have an inconsistent guard on offense like D'Angelo Russell, who I'm fond of him. I like the playmaking he gives at times. It's not consistent, but at times he's a great playmaker at the one. But for the nights that he's not going, I would have Gabe Vincent come in and do his thing. It's offset. Don't put them together. I don't think there are going to be many nights where we're going to have both of those guys going, and it's to win a game. And it's a close possession game. It's back and forth. It's a gritty game. There's not going to be situations where both of those guys are going in that situation. If both of those guys are going, we're winning by 20. We're winning by 15. We're blowing the team out. It didn't matter.
All right.
Or maybe all right, fellas. Overcritical because I'm a Laker fan. Maybe that's the case. I won't rule it out. Maybe I got my hater shades on and I'm just seeing terrorist activity when there's no terror. Maybe I'm just scared. You know?
That's what it sounds like, Damo. It sounds like
too good to be true.
Yeah,
someone's going to mess it up.
Yeah. The one kid might save y'all. What's his name again, Mars?
Jalen Hood-Shafina.
Jalen Aquafina, that's right.
Aquafina.
He got you.
Since we're on the subject of the Lakers, just real quick, and we're not going to talk about.
Go ahead. No, you got it.
Since we're on the subject of the Lakers, I was thinking there's a difference between a playoff contender and a championship contender, and I feel like championship contenders have their window open. in this league today, how many championship contenders do we have? Not only how many championship contenders do we have, how open is their window and how long is it open?
I would say you got the Nuggets, the Celtics, the Bucks, the Lakers, and the Suns.
So that's 5 teams right there. These are championship contenders. These ain't playoff contenders. These championship contenders. And of those 5 contenders, Big Ox, how long you feel like that window is open for those crews?
Wait, are those the only 5 we're going with? Nobody disagrees.
That's only 5 I'm acknowledging. That's only 5 I'm acknowledging. I think this is the last year for the Lakers. I think this is the last year for the Lakers. I think Denver probably got 3 or 4. The Suns got this year, maybe next year. I might stretch it to next year, but pretty much this year. The Celtics and the Bucks, I would say they each got about 3 to 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only ones I'm acknowledging.
I'm not saying those are the same 5 I was counting on my fingers, and I'm trying to think if I could add any other team if there's a team missing.
I want to say the Clippers so bad, but
Damo, who are you out
like
on?
Damo said, this ain't 2K.
Of the quote unquote championship contenders, who are you out on? I'm out on Philly. And I'm out on the Clippers. I think their championship window. I think their window is closed. I'm out on both of them. Who are you out on?
As a Laker fan, I've never thought the Clippers had an open window for a championship, so I've never considered them. And the Sixers, I'm probably out on the Sixers now too. I was debating on saying 6, but do I really believe in the 76ers? I love Joel Embiid, but I just don't think they can get it done as a unit. So that's why I'm like, I got it right with the 5. It is that 5 for real.
Mars, who are you in on, Mars?
The Sixers. I agree with the 5 teams you said. Then I think the Clippers are championship contenders. And then, like, I guess Golden State are like outside contenders, but I don't really consider them. And then for their window, the Lakers got this year. The Suns probably have 2 years. The Nuggets have about 3 or 4, maybe 5, maybe, I don't know. The Bucks have about 3 years, and Boston have about 4 years. And then the Sixers have about 6 months. And then the Clippers have about a year. And then
what else do the Clippers need to show you, Mars, for them to show you that they're not that team? This is year 4 now. We're going in to with these dudes. We're in year 4 now. And what have we seen with these dudes in the last 4 years, Mars?
I mean, they get hurt.
I'm sorry, year 5. This is what we're going to.
It's possible that they aren't hurt in the playoffs. It's possible. Maybe this is the year where Kawhi Leonard makes it through the postseason. Paul George is there in the postseason. They have a better coach than they did the last time they had them both in the postseason. It's possible. I don't think there's any team that the Clippers are looking at and saying, if we're healthy, they're better than us. I just think they're just looking at it as we just need to be available. Whether or not they will be, I don't know. But it's possible. And that's why I think they're contenders.
I think that's the problem, Mars. That what they've shown you over the last 4 years is they have not been available. And Kawhi Leonard said it. There's no policy that you're going to be able to implement to make me play. And the reason why is not because he doesn't want to play. It's because physically I can't do it. That's the problem. It's not because I don't want to play. Because I think I put guys like Kawhi Leonard, Paul, I put those guys in the same category with all-time great ballers. When I say ballers, Mars, I mean guys who just want to play basketball. I think the problem with Kawhi Leonard is I think physically he just can't do it as much as he used to be able to, which is why I still feel like in the next 2 years, I think he's going to be gone because I don't think physically he's going to be able to hold up.
Coming up,
that's why I'm out on the
behind Keegan Murray. Can't wait.
Yo, Ticket. Pop's wild. Yo, Ticket, I want to hear from you on teams that you think are championship contenders as of today, and I'll also tap in with how long you think that championship window is.
DK, the Lakers won the NBA championship.
I don't give a damn about none of that conversation. Y'all let me pay my money. Y'all put the Shaq said put up the poll. Y'all being funny. Y'all put up the video yesterday, and the majority of the comments said that I won the bet. So Shaq, run me my money, man. Be a man of your word, you fake ass Dr. J. Be a man of your word and pay my $500, sucker. You put a video up on PC yesterday.
A bet is a bet.
And you said if they vote for me, you said if they vote for me in the chat, and I got you on screenshot, Shaq. You said if they vote for me in the chat, I get the majority of the people that you would send me that bread, bro.
Run it.
That you got in bed with Showtime Sean Porter. My man.
Run it.
Pay me my money. Y'all think I'm playing about this shit.
No, you're not.
Bro,
we know you ain't
my money, man. Y'all got the video that y'all put up yesterday. The majority of the comments, because I went and looked at them today, say that you owe me my money. They owe me my money, bro. Pay me my $500, bro. Fake ass Dr. J. I don't care about whatever they talk about. If Damo want to go, tell Damo to go be the coach of the Lakers, and they'll win 10 games with his philosophy. Don't nobody care about that. Championship contenders, I don't give a damn about that. I just want my money, man.
They go with my philosophy, LeBron retiring with 7 rings.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Shaq, you heard it. I know you somewhere in the background. Ticket is looking for you, and he making your profile pic look good right now. But with that being said, Chill, who you got? Championship contenders.
The 5 guys that he said, the 5 teams that he said, the Celtics, the Lakers, the Lakers, Denver, Milwaukee. Who am I leaving out?
Phoenix.
I don't think Phoenix is a championship contender. I'm not on them. Mm-mm.
That's what I thought. I was going to say that shit to him.
I'm not on Phoenix. I can't put Phoenix ahead of the Warriors, and I don't think the Warriors can win it because I don't think they're better than the Lakers. So in the West, it's really Denver, the Lakers, and then it's everybody else after that. And I think the championship window for Denver, because that core is still together for the next 2 years. So I think that the Denver Nuggets, I think they're going to be around for a while. The Lakers, they're going to go, Mars and I have already had this conversation, and I'm standing on it. They're going to go as far as Anthony Davis takes them, however much he can hold up. I don't know. Then after that, it gets tricky. I'm not sold on Memphis. I don't think Memphis is a championship contender. I'm out on the Clippers. Phoenix, I've seen what I've seen from KD. His playoff production has gone the other way in each of the last 3 seasons. I'm not sold on Phoenix. Bradley Beal has been in and out of the lineup, and we're just going to throw him on a crew, a championship contending crew, and he's going to play lights out. No, I'm not buying that. I think it's 4 teams, and I think that there's playoff contenders who aren't there yet, like Cleveland and Sacramento. I think Cleveland and Sacramento are both playoff contenders. I don't think they're at that championship level contender yet, which is why I don't think their window is open.
So Chill, you have them top 4 teams, and then under that you got Cleveland, how you just said, and then you got the teams like the Warriors, the Suns, the Sixers.
Yes, the Miami, teams like that.
Okay, cool. Next week we'll definitely start getting into all this good stuff leading into the season. We'll do our players' choice power rankings. Everybody up here present you their top 15 players going into the league next season. All of that good stuff. We definitely gonna get on the hype train.
What week is they gonna get my bread though?
That's a good question, Ticket.
I mean, bro, he said that. Pull up the video, Ron. You guys put a video out yesterday. Y'all made money off that video. Use that money they made off that video. Pay my bread.
Oh shit! Oh, whole time I thought you was trolling. This serious?
No, I'm dead serious. Because look, he put up the video yesterday. And Shaq said in the comments, most of the people say I won the bet, he'll send me my bread. I don't play about the principle because I know one thing. If I would have lost the bet and that boy would have got traded to Miami and it wasn't for Dame,
they would have been on your ass. Ticket. Give that bread.
They would not have let me let this go. They would not have let me let this go.
Ticket. I need my money.
It's about the principle, bro. It's about the principle because I walk with respect. Because I tell you, if I'd have lost the bet, that boy would have had that money before we even started the show.
And to the guy in the comment, hey, buddy, why you keep saying LeBron didn't improve anything? Why are you talking about LeBron? I am talking about the Lakers going as far as Anthony Davis will take them. Get off LeBron James for a second and talk about the Lakers. I am on record saying the Los Angeles Lakers are going as far as Anthony Davis takes them, period. Why do you keep talking about LeBron James? This has nothing to do with James. This is about Anthony Davis being an MVP caliber player. At the end of this season, when you're talking about the league MVP, and we're talking about who's the league MVP, Anthony Davis's name needs to be in that conversation. Seriously in that conversation. If they're going to compete for an NBA championship. Because the days of James throwing teams on his back and taking them to the NBA championship are over. Physically, he can't do that anymore. So when we get to the end of this season, Anthony Davis's name, when we're talking about the league MVP, Giannis, Joker, Tatum, Anthony Davis's name needs to be in that. It absolutely needs to be in that. In order for them to be a championship contender.
All right, fellas. Speaking of small ball lineups and terrorist activity and whatnot, up north, still in California, the Golden State Warriors have, I guess, adopted a new philosophy that they're going to run with this next year. Steve Kerr is joining Darvin Ham with, well, his normal antics. The Warriors coach said on playing Klay Thompson at power forward in certain lineups this year, he said this, and I quote, "We are thinking Klay can guard as a 4 this year. We'll put him in coverage where he's having to defend pick and rolls as a 4. How are we feeling about Klay Thompson playing the 4 on defense?
I'm glad I'm a Houston fan. I'm glad I'm a Houston fan.
The reason why I don't hate it is because Houston's going to have, I mean, Mars just brings it up. Houston is going to have, quote unquote, Trevor Ariza at the 4. I mean, I think Klay can deal with him at the 4. And when teams go with the small ball lineup, you can have Klay covering guys at the 4. Now, when they go to bigger lineups, it's going to be a problem. That's going to get sniffed out. That's why I'm not really sure that Coach Kerr should have came out and said that he was thinking about putting Klay at the 4. I mean, because they won with the small ball lineup, or I think they call it the death lineup. They've won with that lineup. But with that being said, I mean, teams run small ball, so it's not the days of Malone and KG and Tim Duncan. Them dudes are gone. So at the 4 is so interchangeable that the 4 plays on the perimeter a lot. Klay Thompson is 6'7". It ain't like Klay Thompson is 6'2" or 6'3" playing the 4. I mean, he can play. He can play other guys listed at the 4. They had DeMar DeRozan listed at the power 4. Give me a break.
Yeah, I'm the same. At first, when I first saw it, I was like, man, here's Steve Kerr go. He tripping. But then I thought about it. I'm looking at it and I'm like, I'm not too mad at it. I'm mad at, having Chris Paul next to Steph Curry. They're getting cooked up there. But I'm not so mad at Klay being at the power forward with Andrew Wiggins and Draymond or Kevon Looney or whoever it's going to be. Like, I mean, it's not like days of old where he's dealing with Chris Webber and Rasheed Wallace or Kevin Garnett, guys like that. Nowadays the power forwards are Harrison Barnes, Jabari, like you were just speaking about. Sometimes Jason Tatum, Karl-Anthony Towns soft ass. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not no big deal like that. I'm really not mad at it. If anything, actually, it helps with their switchability. I don't know if they're going to be trapping pick and rolls. I'm not sure how they defend that, but it really makes sense to me. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
Early Jabari Smith is listed as 6'8". What are you talking about? 6'11"?
He is not 6'8". He's not. I promise you, he's 6'10", 6'11". If he's listed,
are you sure he's that big?
6'9".
If they listed him at 6'8", they got it wrong. He's 6'10", 6'11".
I thought he was like 6'9". He's listed as 6'8". I thought he was 6'9". That's 6'10", unless he's grown. Unless he's grown, I
promise he's 6'10", 6'11".
The thing about that,
he definitely is.
Even if he's 16, he's not a bully.
Right, like he's not a guy on the box that you just gonna be roughing. He's gonna be roughing guys up.
He's not a bully.
Oh, yeah, he's not that, but he's definitely he's 6'10", 6'11", 1000%.
Is Jonathan Kuminga just not ready at all at this point? I felt like before Klay plays the 4, you would at least give that role or that responsibility to Jonathan Kuminga. So if Klay is having to play situational 4 minutes, man, I guess Kuminga's not ready. He's still not ready. This is crazy. I don't know. It's, as I said, it's not the worst thing, and definitely situational, and depending on the lineup, you'll get away with it. But I just never thought I'd see a world where they would need to put Klay Thompson at the 4. I think this is more a team need. Like, this is the state of the Warriors now that Klay's at the 4 versus, this is just some exploit or some trickery that Steve Kerr wants to do, because Steve Kerr is a terrorist. He'll try to run a small ball with anybody. So that's crazy.
Is Steve Kerr a small ball merchant?
He's a Mike.
After this summer, yes. After this summer, yes.
Is he a small ball merchant? I just want to make sure that I'm understanding who Steve Kerr is. So is Steve Kerr? Is he in the same? Does he live in the same neighborhood with Ty Lue?
Yes, they're neighbors.
I just want to. Okay, I just want to make sure that
they might be roommates.
Okay, I just want to make sure that I'm understanding.
At the worst, Mars, they got a townhouse. You know the townhouses that are split in the middle, and it's basically everything except it's a wall that splits the house. They definitely share the same garage.
A duplex.
Yeah, duplex. There you go. Hey,
he's got that look on his face like, just say duplex. What are you doing? what are we talking about here?
And this whole thing is in light of the whole Draymond injury. In case you guys don't know, Draymond's going to be out for they said about 4 weeks. Draymond to be out.
Oh, that's right. I was wondering how come they didn't bring up Draymond. Okay, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so they're. Yeah. So they're talking about starting obviously Steph, Klay at the 4, and then you got Andrew Wiggins, CP3. I mean, not CP3. CP3, and then Kevon Looney, obviously. So that's what they're talking about, and they're saying that Klay essentially is going to be the one that guards the 4s, which to me kind of makes sense because you want Andrew Wiggins guarding the team's best perimeter defender, or I mean, offensive player, or just best offensive player in general. But I don't know. You guys feel like this is a bad lineup to throw out there?
Terrible.
Without Draymond, I didn't realize that was a reaction to Draymond being hurt. Yeah, that's awful. Kuminga's cooked. I didn't get him out the league at that point. If you're not ready, in this situation, definitely Kuminga should be ready. This is definitely a Kuminga replacing Draymond type of ordeal. And if you have to resort to Klay being the 4 instead of Kuminga, he's cooked.
Does Steve Kerr hate him?
Maybe he hated Walker Kessler. I don't know. Maybe he just hates. If he doesn't like you, he don't like you. I don't.
Kuminga and Klay about the same size, so it's not like there's much of a size difference between them. They about the same size. Now Kuminga's a better athlete. I will give him that, and younger. But if he can't figure it out, which is what's holding him back,
I feel like he's bigger. He might not be taller.
He's definitely bigger.
Like 6'9". He's like 6'9", ain't he?
He a little taller, and he's bigger though.
I think he listed at 6'7", like Klay Thompson.
Yeah, weight wise though, he's just bigger than him.
But
I get what you're saying though, Chill.
Right.
But how do we feel about that on the offensive end though? Do we think that benefits the Warriors? Because keep in mind, like if 4s have to guard, or if Klay has to guard 4s, somebody has to guard, them on the offensive end as well. Now I'm not saying the same 4 will guard Klay on the other end, but he's gonna guard one of the 4 between Klay, Andrew, CP3, probably not Steph, but you guys see what I'm saying? How does that work? How does that benefit them on the offensive end? Do you guys think it negates each other?
It has potential to. I mean, as all things are going on the offensive side for the Warriors, if everything is working for them, then it definitely has a case to be like a crazy type of offense in terms of maybe we're not too concerned about defense. The first to 200 win on some LeVar Ball theory type stuff. It can be that if everything's going right. Personally, I don't think it's going to go that way.
It's not. That pick and roll is going to be much worse with no Draymond Green. The only one who you reliably trust to create their own shot other than Steph is maybe Andrew Wiggins. If you go against a team that's switching, no one else is going to be able to create their own shot. It's just going to fall back on Steph isolations. Their offense is not going to be very good with this lineup, in my opinion. But Miles,
when they went with Klay, when they went with Steph, Klay, Iggy, Draymond, who was the other guy?
Kevin Durant.
Let's take Kevin Durant. So before Kevin,
made the lineup.
No. Before Kevin Durant showed up, they did.
They had a death lineup before him. It was
before
Iggy.
Kevin Durant showed up. It was Iggy. It was Klay. It was Draymond. It was Steph Curry, and I want to say Harrison Barnes.
It was Harrison Barnes 100%.
It was Harrison Barnes at the 4, and it worked. The problem was Harrison Barnes couldn't knock down an open shot. That was the problem. However, if you put in Klay in that position, I think Klay can knock down an open shot.
But now you have
so why couldn't this work? I mean, it led to an NBA championship.
Now you have Chris Paul and Kevon Looney. Kevon Looney doesn't shoot. Chris Paul can probably shoot mid-range jump shots, but open catch and shoot is not Chris Paul's game. Then you got Andrew Wiggins and Klay. Klay Thompson isn't as good as he used to be.
Right.
And the reason that lineup worked is because the defense was so good. And that was also at a time where, like I said, the era of big men was terrible. So the defense was so good that it was able to make offense easier. Now the defense is going to be cooked. You're not getting out in transition. You're having to run half-court sets with a lineup where only one person can create their own shot reliably. It's not going to work. And you don't have secondary playmaking with Draymond Green. You have it with Chris Paul, but they do things in completely different ways. Draymond Green is able to play out the short roll in a way Chris Paul can't because he doesn't set screens. So they're just going to be asking teams to do different things. The lineup's completely different, and Chris Paul's the shortest player on the floor. Before it was Steph Curry. Now you have to hide two different people. It just doesn't work. It protects two different people. It just doesn't work to me.
All right, fellas. Moving along. This is something that I've been trying to do for the last couple shows, but we're gonna go ahead and get to it now. I'm gonna share my screen, and we're gonna go through a post that Bleacher Report made. Shout out to Bleacher Report. They did Hall of Fame comparisons for players 25 and younger, and so we're gonna look at these comparisons, and I want you guys to tell me if they're accurate. If so, why? If not, who would you possibly compare this player to? Or does this player not have a comp?
Ron, skip that Luka one, please.
All right, first and foremost, here's how we gonna rock. As you guys can see it on the screen, let's get it going. First, we have Luka Doncic, and his Hall of Fame comparison is Magic Johnson and a Kobe hybrid. Yeah, you see it. Magic Johnson and a Kobe Bryant hybrid. How are we feeling about this?
I don't see either one of them.
I can see it.
I
can see it.
I can't. That's all.
Luka is Magic and Kobe and a Kobe hybrid. What are you looking at, Damo, that I'm missing?
I'm looking at Luka Doncic, man. That's what I'm looking at. That's
the transition player. The transition player that Magic is, Luka is not that.
He's the opposite. He's
right.
the opposite.
So we can start. We can start right.
Dallas play the slowest pace in the league. That's why I don't see Magic.
That's number one. Number two, the one-on-one player, the guy that plays above the rim in Bryant, Luka does not play like that at all.
The wrong
but Damo running around here calling Darvin Ham a terrorist, and this fool don't know a damn thing about basketball. He's going to
I don't know what we're talking about, man.
What are we meant to be looking at? Enlighten us.
Because a Kobe and Magic hybrid obviously is a different player. When you're looking at a Kobe Magic hybrid, it's not just going to be all the best aspects or all the things you assume is the best things about Magic and the best things in how Kobe did it. No, it's the impact. He has the flair and the it factor of a Magic Johnson. That's what you're looking at with the Magic comparison. He had that smile. Have you seen Luka smile?
Here's the thing, Damo. Here's the thing, Damo. When you're trying to sell something, you have to believe it first. You don't even believe what you're trying to sell us.
Everything I just said.
So Magic's in the comparison because of aura. That's what it is.
Magic aura and Kobe killer instinct. I've never seen. Did you see Luka Doncic when that man was mad at Devin Booker? Do you see the look in his eyes when he plays the Suns? I haven't seen a killer like that since Kobe in the game. He has that drive. That's what that is when it comes to the Kobe comparison. Y'all looking at play style.
Luka has the Kobe drive. This is the dude who doesn't take care of his body, who shows up to camp out of shape.
Whoa.
Is that what we talking about right now?
He's crazy. When he goes home in the summers, he loses weight. When he comes over here,
and then he comes over here, and then what happens?
His BS processed American meat, all this BS American fast food.
We ain't doing that.
His European body can't keep up. Hey, man.
Damo, he gained 15 pounds in February.
Bob, it's Papados. You know he in Dallas. Like, you know that brisket falling off the bone down there. Come on.
Papados gonna put some weight on my midsection, but I'm not in the NBA. So
I'm on Domo's side now. When he mentioned that smile, I was like, he got it.
Think about the Luka smile, man. When you see Luka smile, it lights up a room. I'm just saying.
So he's charismatic.
Hey, man, charisma.
So he's charismatic. Okay, you can look as good as you possibly want, but if you're not producing like that, again, we're talking about Magic, I think one of the best transition players ever. Luka, not like that at all. Kobe Bryant playing above the rim, one of the best one-on-one players ever. Getting to the basket,
defense
getting into the mid range, and that's where I was going next. Being able to guard 1-on-1. Luka does not play like that, so I don't see that comparison at all.
Why would you? Okay, so tell me about Magic Johnson's defense. Let me hear about it.
Tell me what your record would be.
He played the 5 in the finals, though, man.
Let me hear.
When has Luka ever played the 5?
Just tell me about
what would your record be as an NBA head coach, Damo?
With what roster?
You call everybody a terrorist. You call all these coaches.
Give me a team.
You got Cleveland. You got Cleveland, Damo. You got Cleveland.
The 2017 Warriors. The 2017
No. If you were coaching the Lakers, if you were coaching this Lakers team,
this year's Lakers, we're winning a chip. This year's Lakers, I'm coach. Us losing won't be because of my scheme. I promise you that. It won't be because of my scheme.
No, he didn't, buddy.
It'll be because of health. It'll be because some guys don't want to buy in and be great, but it won't be because the coach couldn't coach. I promise you.
What if you got Cleveland?
If I had Cleveland, second round exit. Some things I just can't do. Some things even a good coach can't.
I'm cool with that.
Ron, you got to put up a poll of over or under 30 wins for Damo as a Lakers head coach.
30 wins with LeBron James is crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro, Damo's a head coach.
Damo ain't putting Damo is getting D'Lo off the floor. It's games where D'Lo ain't even playing.
Hey, I ain't
if Damo
coaches, some nights, he just might. He just might not play.
Talking about he's fine. Damo's fine.
Damo, if I'm coaching D'Lo, don't never take that warm up off.
I'm coaching. D'Lo gonna be spending a lot of games after practice getting up extra shots. I promise you. It's gonna be a lot of those nights.
That is D'Angelo Russell.
There's a lot of nights like that. No, I mean D'Lo will play. Just if he matches up against a top tier guard, he gonna get off that floor quick. I'm not about to have somebody go on a 15-0 run because you can't guard. Not me. But again, I don't even know what we was talking about. I lost my point.
I don't either.
Luka being a Kobe Magic hybrid.
I don't have to thank you for anything, buddy. I was here before you showed up, brother. Man. And I'm gonna be here long after you go. So I don't have to thank you for nothing, brother.
Ron, why you doing that, bro?
Actually, thank me for acknowledging you because nobody knows who you are before I acknowledge you. So in terms of thanking somebody, homeboy, I put you on. You didn't put me on. So get your shit together.
And we talking about numbers. Hey, man, how many guys is putting up 32, 8 and 8, 29?
Not many.
9 and 9.
Not many.
It's not like I understand. It might not be Magic's numbers. It might not be Kobe's numbers. These are still phenomenal numbers he's putting up. It's not like he's not doing nothing. I can see it. I'm not saying it's a perfect combination, but I can see where the blend of a Kobe and a Magic, you can get a Luka Doncic. I can see it.
I still don't.
I can't.
You don't want to see it. That's why, Mars. You don't want to see it.
I can't. I wish I could say I did.
This crazy, Damo. I ain't gonna lie. I'm losing focus, bro. This nigga around talking about Papa Dolls. All I can think about is fried alligator tail.
Focus, Big Ox. Focus, brother. Where you at right now? Focus, Big Ox.
Hey, so with that being said, who's Luka's comparison?
James Harden.
In today's game?
Nah, all time.
He's gonna be a Hall of Famer. James Harden.
I can get with that.
See, that's how you do it. The answer is James Harden. You don't have to think of a different one. It's James Harden. I was right.
Maybe Bird.
Here comes the white guy being compared to a white guy.
Hey, that's who I'm going with. As nasty as it may be, that's who I'm rocking with. That's who I'm rocking with. That's who I'm rocking with.
Comparison is the skin color.
But it's accurate though.
I don't like that comparison.
It's accurate.
It's not just the skin color. He's not very athletic like Bird.
Larry Bird barely put the ball on the ground.
Bird is way better than Luka. It's like there's no. I don't even see the comparison.
Oh, I'm not fighting that part, Big Ox. He is 100%, but he wasn't. And just like Luka, he wasn't a great athlete.
That's really what it is for me. It's the ability to shoot, not being a good athlete.
Right. He wasn't a great athlete, so that's kind of where the comparison is with me when it comes to Luka. It has nothing to do with him being white, Mars, and Luka being white. No, it does not. No, it doesn't.
I think there might be a little Caucasian swaying in this.
Guarantee if Luka was black, he's getting Paul Pierce comparisons. He's unathletic and can shoot. It's just because you compared him to a white guy.
Right.
The thing, it's kind of a healthy balance between the both. So look. Let's say a Larry Bird and James Harden hybrid. How about that?
I'm not putting Larry Bird in just because he's white.
I really think I think it's a good comp. They're both tall. They're both tall. They're both tall. They're both not extreme. Yeah, they're both tall. Well, no, like both big guards essentially.
Okay.
And they both
6'9", 6'10". Hey, bit of it. What's Lucas?
I was trolling.
6'7", 6'8". 6'7", 6'8".
Larry Bird wasn't a guard.
But you two down there.
He still handled the ball. But for the most part, the height comparison is pretty consistent. They both can score on all three levels. They both play make, and they're both not athletic.
Right.
Like what are we talking about?
All right,
but I do see
the way in which they do all of those things is drastically different. Yes, they can play make. They do it in completely different. Jokic is Larry Bird, I guess. Jokic is Larry Bird, right?
I mean, you have to find a good hybrid.
I mean,
Jokic is closer to a Larry Bird comparison than Luka will ever be.
I can see that too, Mars.
Jokic and Larry Bird, I have no problem.
That I can see, Mars.
Luka dribbles for 19 seconds. Larry Bird barely dribbles.
More like 21 seconds.
The ball, it was a quick move. There we go. He scores. His passing was.
But Bird played in transition too.
He did play in transition. Luka doesn't do that. When Larry Bird gets the ball, he's holding the ball for maybe 3 or 4 seconds, making a decision. It's quick. When he's getting a jump shot, it's catch and shoot. He's not going off the dribble, tween, step back. He's not doing any of these things, but somehow because he can play make, they're the same. It's because
listen.
Not the whole player, Mars. We're talking about some similarities. That's all we're talking about.
I see.
I'm talking about him shooting
similarities
the
in how they play.
I'm talking about him shooting basketball at the long ball line. I'm talking about him rebounding and going in transition. Because Luka does play in transition, and he's not very athletic, just like Larry Bird isn't very athletic.
What transition is he playing?
But he is getting the ball out. He's not very fast, just like Larry Bird wasn't very fast. That's number two. He doesn't rebound it like Bird, and he's not very athletic. So it takes a lot. And Bird doesn't do a lot to get his shot off. Luka, on the other hand, does. Luka has to do a lot of stuff to get his shot off. With all of that being said, the athletic part is where the similarity is with me. That's why I said Bird. I ain't talking about his whole game. He doesn't rebound like Bird. He doesn't defend like Bird. It's the athletic part where I'm at with it.
Basically, what I'm hearing right now is that it's the lack of melanin.
Yes.
Honestly, if we're being super serious, the best comparison, the best comparison would be Paul Pierce and James Harden, a hybrid of Paul Pierce and James Harden.
I'm not mad at that. I'm really not mad at that. I just think Luka's better than both of them. But I mean, we can still comp him.
And he's worse than Larry Bird. So.
Well, yeah, that's why I said Larry and James.
I know you're not gonna film me on this, and I know the chat's gonna say, "Bob, you're dumb, you're a hater." But man, can we please not disrespect Paul Pierce right now? Please. I have no. Can we please not disrespect Paul?
I just need it to be.
What's the disrespect with Paul Pierce? What's the disrespect with Paul Pierce?
I don't know.
Ron said Luke is better than Paul Pierce.
I just can't handle this right now. So I can't handle this right now.
I just want it to be known that Larry Bird and Luka get compared because they're white. I just need that to be.
Wait, Ox. Who's better, Tracy McGrady or Paul Pierce?
Shit. Why you gonna do me like that, Damo?
You brought up Paul Pierce.
Hey,
no, I brought up Paul Pierce.
Yeah, but you know you're about to say Tracy McGrady.
I'm gonna say it. Thank you, Morris. I'm gonna say T-Mac. I'm gonna say T-Mac. So, yeah.
Mini Mac sauce.
Okay. Yeah, thanks.
He said T-Mac was better than Kobe, so he's not about to say. Paul
I didn't say he was better than Kobe.
Yes, you did. I said was there.
I said
yes. You said peak for peak. T-Mac was better. That's what you said.
Peak for peak. T-Mac clears.
See?
No, he does not.
All right, that's cool. Let's not chill. I got verbally abused for about 3 weeks for saying that. So can we?
And you should have. He is not peak for peak better than Kobe Bryant. You crazy? Hell no, he is not.
I'm sorry. I think T-Mac's peak is a little over Kobe's peak, but
based on what? Okay, you know what? No.
Yeah, please, please spare me.
We cool. Yeah, we cool.
I got a
all right, so we moved on from Luka. I guess we found who his comp may be. Next, we're going to move on to Ja Morant. And they have his comp as a bigger Allen Iverson. How are we feeling about this one?
I could get with that.
How big is Ja, though? I didn't even know he was
6'2".
Okay.
Yeah, he's 6'2". Iverson is barely 6 foot, 6'1", maybe.
So like a 3-inch difference.
James Fitzpatrick, actually, I have been staying off the weed.
I don't see Allen Iverson.
What do you see? Who do you got more? It's like D Rose or something? Or?
Yeah, Derrick Rose, Steve Francis.
Ooh, franchise.
No, well, Steve Francis ain't in the Hall of Fame, so will Derrick Rose be in the Hall of Fame?
Is Ja gonna be in the Hall of Fame?
I don't know, but it says Hall of Fame comparison.
Oh, you're right.
Maybe Derrick Rose might not be in the Hall of Fame, so I don't know. And Kevin
if he's not, he's the only league MVP and the only national championship runner-up, not in the NBA, not in the Hall of Fame. He'd be the only one.
I think I can see comparison in their game, but AI finished better than Ja. I just think like there's a couple more levels up that AI is over than Ja. So but I do understand that they're not saying that they're the same, like as good as each other. There's a comparison. So I can kind of see a comparison in style of play. But
Ja is
I disagree with that. You say he finished better than
yeah. That's what I was about to say.
I think that's about the same.
Ja play above the rim. I didn't play above the rim like that.
Yeah, Iverson could get up, but he didn't do it like Ja doing. Ja yamming on cats. And then Ja showing you he's hit game winners where he's got to the basket, been acrobatic and hit acrobatic layups. He did in the playoffs a couple of years ago. I forgot what game it was.
I'm saying, but you saying he yamming on cats, but it's like a lot of
I'm saying he finished. I'm saying he finished at the basket like. No, I'm saying he finished at the basket like AI. I think he shoots. I think he has developed a better shot than AI as far as a better long ball than AI. I think that's a separator, but they both do the same things. Like they both gamble on defense on steals. They both offensively, they both kind of play similar style offensively. You know what I'm saying? AI took more mid-range jump shots than what Ja takes. Ja normally is 3 or all the way to the rim. So that's the only big difference, but that's the closest. I would say I would agree on that. That's the closest. And really, AI was extremely athletic. And he took a lot of risks, but that's when he stopped using his athleticism a lot. But early in his career, he'd go up and yam it on you. He'll get up there with the big dogs early in his career.
So y'all disagree with me that AI was a better finisher?
No, I think AI clears to me.
John Moran is a finisher?
Yeah, I think so.
I disagree. The only reason why I disagree with y'all on that is because John's finishing over dudes' heads with yams. And I'm talking about he finishing over footers with yams. He putting dudes on posters that's way bigger than him. You know what I'm saying? And he also is acrobatic. He can finish in a different variety of layups around the basket. I just think that he more so finishes with more ferociousness. Like every time you see Ja go up, you think he gonna yam this thing on somebody when he's going to the rim. You know what I'm saying? Do
you think he's a better finisher than Kyrie?
No. Kyrie's the best finisher in NBA history at the basket. And that's because Kyrie's using all the English. Kyrie's using the reverse moves, English, everything. Nobody finishes at the basket but Kyrie from any angle. Kyrie Irving falling down, the angles, the English, everything. There's nobody like Kyrie Irving finishing the basket. Nobody.
Whoa, Ticket. Have you ever heard of a ball head dude that played in Chicago, number 23?
No, you're not hearing me. I'm talking about.
I heard everything that you just said. We talking about English.
No.
We talking about spinning the ball off the glass.
Kyrie Irving had the best English. He had the best finishing around the basket in the history of the NBA. He is the best around the basket finisher. Get into the basket in the history. Michael Jordan can go under the rim, dunk on you. He could do a couple acrobatic moves, but Kyrie Irving's bag is just deeper. Kyrie Irving has showed me under any circumstances, he can be any position under the rim and inflict the ball up, and he understands English. He understands ball placement. He understands all that. He is the best finisher at the basket in the history of the National Basketball Association.
Jordan was doing that, contorting his body. But
he was, but
hanging in the air with two guys on him, spinning the ball off the basket.
He also
got to add in stuff like playing above the rim because that's finishing also.
Better, bro.
And the fact that he finishes above the rim and Jordan dunked on three guys.
But when I'm saying the best finisher, I'm saying that Kyrie Irving, anywhere under the basket, I ain't saying that Jordan wasn't great. He was great. But Kyrie was greater, bro. There is nobody. And you can go look at the highlights of Kyrie's finishes around the basket. There is nobody in the history of the game finishing at the basket like Kyrie Irving. And I ain't just saying because of the dunks. Because if we talking about dunks, I would have guys like Kobe up there. I would have Mike even number one. I ain't talking about just dunks. I'm talking about all around. If you get to the penetration and get to the rack, he is finishing the best of anybody in NBA history. Period. I'm talking about touch, English, everything, all that combined. Kyrie Irving. So he has two things. To me, Kyrie has two things. He's one of the best ball handlers that we've ever seen, and he's one of the best. He is one of the best skilled basketball players that this world has ever seen. And I think that his finishing at the basket is elite creme de la creme. I'm talking about this guy anywhere under the basket. He understands English so well. The way he can get hit, fall out of bounds, throw the ball off the glass, everything like that. I just think that I think that Jordan's there. He's up there, but I think that Kyrie is just number one.
I think we'll have to respectfully agree to disagree.
Yeah, I think you have to look at Kyrie. I think you'd have to go look at Kyrie's career highlights, finishes at the basket.
No, not only am I looking at him finishing at the basket, I'm thinking about Jordan at the basket. He wasn't just dunking on everybody. You know, I'm thinking about Jordan in the lane. I'm thinking about Jordan between two guys getting bumped and still finishing off the backboard with the English that he did, still getting to the rim and getting hit by 2 and 3 guys and still finishing at the rims. Not even dunking, and you want to take dunking out of it. I don't have a problem taking dunking out of it. We're just going to talk about finishing at the basket, laying up, contorting, and completely moving your body around and getting around guys. Jordan I think he was the best ever at that. He's got highlight reels of making shots like that. Nobody has done that. Like
most guys in the league that you've heard speak about it, said,
the left and the right.
Most guys in the NBA who've spoken about it said that Kyrie's the best finisher in NBA history. You can go look it online. They've asked guys about the best finisher in NBA history, the best ball handler. Most guys have Kyrie in the top 2 as the best ball handlers in NBA history. And most of them have Kyrie. He's the best ball handler that I've ever seen. Most of them have number one as the best. Most of them have number one as the best finisher, bro. I have never seen. I'm gonna say it again, Chilltown. Yes, I've seen Jordan go do the dunks. Yes, I've seen Jordan do the reverse layups. Yes, I've seen Jordan change the trajectory in the air and finish off the glass and stuff like that. Bro, the stuff that Kyrie Irving does. Let's go back to his early Cleveland days, bro. The stuff that this cat does, man, is unmatchable. It's unmatchable, bro. This dude got more moves than Mike. And I'm just being honest with you, bro. Kyrie Irving is the toughest gun butter, the gun butcher. He the type to get excited when the gun touches Chilltown. I'm telling you, that dude is next level with this thing, bro. He next level.
I think also with that though, Ticket. I think to be fair to Jordan, I think he had to do less in the air because he was bigger, able to jump a little higher. So he had to do less kind of moving jelly. You know, he could go over the top.
That logic doesn't work. And the reason why that logic doesn't work with Big Ox because he played in the big man era. So he had to do actually more because he had more big guys guarding the goal. That logic does not work. No way.
We've had this conversation a couple of times, and I definitely think behind Jordan, Kobe, and maybe a couple other guys, I do think that Kyrie is hands down maybe a top 5 finisher all time. But I do definitely think Jordan. I would say Jordan is. I would say Jordan is probably number 1, but Kyrie in that top 5 though.
Hands down, maybe.
Really, if we being technical, still kind of want to be technical. Jordan ain't even number 1. If you want to be technical, it's guys that was better than Jordan. If you want to be technical, we can say Shaquille O'Neal. Ain't nobody. Once Shaquille O'Neal gets you 1 foot under the basket, you're done. So I mean, if you want to go that route, or if you want to go to Will Chamberlain route,
how we going that route? No,
hold on. Because
not the same.
I'm looking at what you're saying. I'm trying to figure out: are we talking dominance? Are we talking skill?
We're just talking about finishing at the basket, Ticket. That's what
right. No. Right. Hold on, chill. So if you saying finishing at the basket, when Shaq gets you under the basket and he's jamming your throat down the toilet, that's finishing at the basket, bro. Ain't nobody stopping that. Shaq was unstoppable for in NBA history under the basket. There ain't even close. He was the most unstoppable force in the history of professional basketball. Ain't even close. Once Shaq got you under the basket, he dunking you, kicking you in your face, swinging the backboard, and putting his whatever on your top of your head. Period. So if you want to talk about finishing at the basket, we can say him. We can also go say Kareem, because he had one of the most unstoppable moves in the history of NBA with a sky hook. Ain't nobody blocking that shot. Also, you can say, if you want to talk about finishing the basket, you can say Will Chamberlain, who's one of the greatest finishers of the basket. Also, if you want to talk about finishing the basket, we can say one of the dudes who had probably the greatest post moves in NBA history outside of Keem Olajuwon. You can put Akeem too, but outside of Keem, you can say Kevin McHale. So I mean, if you want to get real technical,
if we are getting technical, all of those dudes, what you just mentioned in terms of unstoppable forces at the rim, they wasn't like Jordan. Because Jordan could do it in a variety of ways. I can appreciate Shaq finishing at the basket, but you could foul Shaq. And once you fouled Shaq, he got to go to the line. And that's where he was deficient. Same thing with Chamberlain. You couldn't do that with Jordan because, number one, Jordan would finish at the basket and he going to the stripe. And in the process of him going to the stripe, he's knocking it down. He was an 85% free throw shooter. So Jordan at the basket, finishing over guys like dunking on guys like Mark Eaton and Mel Turpin and going over the top of guys like Olajuwon, playing in a big man era, dunking on Patrick Ewing. And again, I want to take Duncan. I want to take Duncan out of it. I'm sorry for bringing up Duncan. I'm just talking about finishing at the basket with the layup package, because you talk about Kyrie Irving spinning off the backboard. You're talking about spinning it off the backboard. Jordan is doing that, hanging in the air, contorting his body with the English over three guys, over big men. He's doing that, and big men are the best.
Here's why you're easy to beat. Here's why you're easy to beat, because I can defeat that logic easy. Jordan was 6'6", so he ain't had that, and he was athletic. He ain't had that much further to go up against guys that were 7 foot. Kyrie Irving is 6'1", finishing against damn near 6'10" and 7 foot guys in the league when he's going to the basket. He came in the hold on, don't let me do it to you. From when he came in the league, yes, don't make me do it to you. Don't make me do it to you. Hold on, do not make me do this to you. Because when Kyrie Irving came in the league, he was playing against mostly. That's when the league still had mostly big men and 7 footers. They were still playing two big men, a power forward and a center. So cut it out. All those years he was in Cleveland, from when he came in the league, most teams were still playing a 4 and a 5. They wasn't doing the small ball stuff until probably after they started winning the championship, when the Golden State Warriors came on, when most teams tried to do a small ball lineup. So even before then, when he came in the league, go remember all the big men that was in the NBA at that time, and all the 4s and 5s that Kyrie Irving had to get to the rim and finish around at that time. Right. And guess what? I got something else that cooks your logic. And he had to get around more athletic wings and guards to do it.
Okay. Now, with that being said,
not only did he have to break his guy down, but he had to finish in the lane and around guys who was 7, 8 inches taller than him. Michael Jordan only had like a 4 or 5 inch range he had to worry about. Plus, he had hops. Make it make sense, Chill.
I'm about to make it make sense right now. So the guys that you just mentioned in the big man era, that big man era. So he's going in the lane and he's finishing up against guys like Hassan Whiteside and Jordan.
Hassan Whiteside. When he came in the league, I'm talking about.
He showed up in 2011. That's when he showed up. So he's going up against guys. Once again, when he showed up in 2011, he's going up against guys like Hassan Whiteside, Dwight Howard, Tyson Chandler, Mark Gasol. He's going up against guys like that in terms of big guys. Meanwhile,
Mark Gasol, defensive player of the year.
And with Marc Gasol being the defensive player of the year, would you put Marc Gasol as a better defender than Patrick Ewing? Would you say that Jordan with the Clippers is a better defender than Hakeem Olajuwon or David Robinson? Would you say he's a better defender than Mutombo? Now, Michael Jordan, and since we're on the subject of guys, Kyrie Irving and since we're talking about guys that Michael Jordan had to that Kyrie Irving had to get around, let's talk about Michael Cooper, who was the defensive player of the year. Let's talk about Alvin Robinson, who was the defensive player of the year. Let's talk about Sidney Moncrief, who was the defensive player of the year. Let's talk about Joe Dumars, who was also one of the best defensive players in the game. These are guys that Jordan has to get around, and the guys waiting at the basket are guys like Ewing, are guys like David Robinson, are guys like Dikembe Mutombo, are guys like Patrick. Guys like this are the guys that are waiting at the basket for him. So these guys waiting at the basket for him, and he's still finishing over these big guys with English, with contorting his body, hanging in the air. So you talking about defeating my logic? You didn't, sir.
Yes, sir. I did defeat your logic, because when you just named guys, you just named 3 or 4 defensive player of the year awards. So first of all, that defeats your logic right now. Dwight Howard.
And none of them dudes is better than any of the dudes.
Hold on. You also said Marc Gasol. You also said a player who could be a defensive player of the year candidate every single year in Tyson Chandler. Stop cooking yourself, dog, because I'll cook it for you. You can also talk about I'm not finished with you yet. You can also talk about Rudy Gobert. You can also talk about Rudy Gobert, who you praise all the time, who got 3 or 4 defensive player of the year awards. But he's a shot blocker at the rim. You can also talk about AD, who you praise and talk about one of the best defenders in the world. So you keep stuffing a mud hole in your sorry ass.
You ain't stuffing a mud hole in nothing. Because all of these dudes that you're talking about, none of them dudes is better than you. As defenders, they ain't better than Patrick Ewing.
I can cook you too.
You're not coming with any facts. Because again, we're talking about Rudy Gobert. Is Rudy Gobert a better defender than Mutombo?
I'm not finished with you yet. I'm not finished with you yet.
Talking about it. Is he better than Mutombo? Yes or no?
Also, I can go with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Also, I can go with Brook Lopez. Also, I can go with all these guys that Kyrie Irving had to finish against. So let's not do it. Let's not do this. Let's not do this.
Let's do it. Ticket, we're doing it. It's too late. We're already doing it.
I just gave you 5 defensive player of the year awards too.
Take it and chill. Take it and chill.
What?
The
No,
defensive player.
No, Ron. You can't
This is all I'm gonna say. This is all I'm gonna say. The defensive player of the year award logic doesn't really work because it's a defensive player of the year every year. So you can literally go through a whole decade and be like, "Oh, well, I got 10 defensive players of the year," and the other guy can do the same thing. So that doesn't necessarily work.
But we're talking about rim protectors and shot blockers and elite wing defenders. This fool sitting up here acting like it was only the elite wing defenders in that era. Well, guess what?
No, I didn't say that. No, I did not say that. You just said that.
I'm not finished with that. I'm gonna keep cooking your ass. In 2011, sir. In 2011, sir, you still had guys in the league like Kawhi Leonard. You understand what I'm saying? Who was elite on the wing defensively. You still had Paul George, who was elite on the wing defensively. I'm not finished with that.
I'm finished with you. Kawhi Leonard was a rookie.
Who were all NBA, all defensive team NBA. Stop playing with me, man.
Give me a break.
Like I said,
I'm not. Kawhi Leonard who just showed up in the league.
They were not on the 2017
I gave you defensive players of the year
on
the
wing.
wing.
They were not on the same team since 2011.
Give me a break.
They weren't on the same team since 2011. Kyrie Irving came in the league in 2011. Kawhi and Paul George not on the same team. And guess what? That's when they were peak defensively. So put that in your pipes and smoke it, chill.
Defensively? What are you talking about when they were peak defensively? Kyrie Irving.
Is Kawhi Leonard better defensively now and then? Is Kawhi Leonard better defensively now and then?
Today?
But no, between now and between the last 3 years and between 2011 and 2015, was Kawhi Leonard peak defensively or not? Then or now?
Kawhi Leonard 2011 to 2015 was not peak Kawhi Leonard defensively. No, it was not.
Man,
from about 2014 to 2018, that was peak Kawhi Leonard defensively.
Man, come on, man. And then
the rest of that became reputation at that point.
What about Paul George?
Stay healthy.
Was Paul George
stay healthy in the same logic?
I'll ask you a question. Was Paul George reputation? I'm asking, was PG reputation?
At this point, yes.
No. I'm talking about in his early days when Kyrie was playing him all those years.
So like maybe 13, 14. No, he was elite.
What about Pat Beverly, who was making all defensive teams guarding point guards?
I mean, we could do that all day long. Ticket. I can bring up defensive players back. You're the same one that told me that Latrell Sprewell is a better perimeter defender than Dwayne Wade. Stop it, yo. Give me a break.
He was. He wasn't a great talking about. He wasn't a great perimeter defender. He was not. He fooled you. He crazy. Doug Christie is a better perimeter defender than Dwayne Wade. Get the hell out of here. He was. Go ask Rick Fox.
All right, y'all. I think chill is on chill right now. So
your glass is frozen. Your glass is frozen. Yeah, your glass is frozen from all that cap. Like I said before, these dudes is the beat. Kyrie Irving is the best.
You didn't beat anything. Ticket all you doing is talking. What you did was you changed the subject and you didn't come with any facts. That's all you did. You changed the subject, you turned it into this, and didn't come with any facts. So you didn't beat anything.
Hold on. I said what I said. Hold on. I said what I said. Kyrie Irving is one of the greatest finishers at the basket in the history of basketball. He is.
No, you didn't say he was one of the greatest. You said he was the best.
He is the greatest. He is the greatest. He's the best. He is the greatest. And guess what? He played against some of the greatest athletes too in the history of the game.
And so did Jordan.
But you said the athletes of nowadays are better, right?
I said, wait, I never said that.
You don't say that all the time, that these athletes in this era is better than the athletes from the past?
Once again, you turning this into something. This is how you try to spew things.
No, I'm asking what you're trying to do. Don't you say that all the time? Don't you say that
what I say is that the narrative today is that the athlete today is better. What I said was evolution. No, I don't, because evolution takes millions of years. So there were athletes in the 90s. There were athletes in the 80s. Bill Russell was a great athlete in the 60s.
So let me ask you a question. Was Dwight Howard a better athlete than Bill Russell?
No.
I'm gone. Ron. This is Ron. What the hell type of drugs is Chilltown on there? Is this a real Chilltown? He just said Dwight Howard ain't more athletic than Bill Russell, Ron.
Answer the question, Ticket.
Ain't nobody gonna say
I'm asking you a simple question, Ticket, because you have a tendency to not answer questions. Why was Dwight Howard a better athlete than Bill Russell? Go ahead.
Mars, you not gonna jump in? Damo, you not gonna help?
Hold on.
If I jump in, then all of a sudden it's 3 against 1, 5 against 1.
Yeah, facts. If I jump in, I'm hating or I'm jumping.
All I'm saying is this, bro. This man set up there. We saw Dwight Howard. You can watch the eye test between him and Bill Russell. You're not gonna sit here and tell me that Bill Russell was more athletic than guys like Dwight Howard and some of these other guys in this era, bro. That's not gonna fly, man. That ain't gonna fly, bro. He was athletic, yes, and for his era, he was great. Yes, he could contend in the Olympics and some things, but guess what? Damn it, Dwight Howard could too. As high as Dwight Howard was jumping, as ferocious as he was blocking shots in his heyday in Orlando, you're not gonna sit here and tell me that you think Bill Russell with the Celtics in his prime was more athletic than Dwight Howard in his prime in the NBA. There's no way in hell, man. Come on, we ain't gonna do this, man.
I was about to say, what about Wilt then? If the conversation is Wilt, Dwight Howard, is you saying the same thing, Ticket?
What about Wilt and Dwight Howard?
Yeah.
Hold on. If that's the case, I can give you other dudes who are more athletic than Wilt Chamberlain in this era.
Wait. But if it's Dwight Howard and Wilt Chamberlain,
that's all was shutting the fuck up.
No. I think Dwight Howard was more athletic than Wilt Chamberlain.
Okay, that's your answer. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, no. I think Dwight Howard was more athletic than pretty much all those dudes. Ewing, Wilt, any of them dudes you can name from any of the old school eras, the big dudes. Dwight was more athletic than those guys. Now let's talk about the perimeter guy, right? And me and Mars, we had an argument about this.
Still have track and field records that like stand today?
No. But that's running and stuff. I'm talking about jumping. When we talk about jumping,
but athleticism
is jumping.
Right? No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, but when we talking about being able to get up and conform and block shots, I'm saying that I think that Dwight Howard was a better. Dwight Howard was a freak that you hadn't seen when he came into the league.
You know that Bill Russell revolutionized shot blocking.
Did
you know that?
Man, come on, man. Hey, so listen. So then let's do this. Because you want to play this. Because you want to play this game. Because you want to play this game.
You brought it up. I'm not playing it, Ticket. You are the one who brought this up. I didn't bring this up. You are the one who brought this up.
Bro, you're misleading the public, telling people that these dudes, them two dudes is more athletic than Dwight Howard, bro. I don't want to hear that.
I'm misleading the public. You sitting here telling me that Kyrie Irving is the best finisher in NBA history, but a lot of people in the chat will agree with me. If Rob puts a poll right now, most of the people will agree with me.
Wait, time out. I ran a poll. I'm currently running one. I previously ran one, and I said, who is a better finisher all time, Jordan or Kyrie? The fans, 55% of the people voted Jordan. Now I currently have a poll right now. Who won the best finisher of all time debate? Chill or Ticket? Chill, you are up 61% at the moment. I am going to continue to let this poll run for a couple minutes. So what's 60-40?
Of course he'll be up because I'm on the road.
Hold on. Let me ask a question. So, Ticket, can we change it and say that Dwight Howard is just he jumps higher than Wilt and Bill Russell, or he jumps higher than these guys? Can we be specific about what you're talking about?
No, because I gotta go back. I gotta go back to the combine. I gotta go to the combine and see what he was running.
But if you're saying athletic, there are more things than just jumping high.
No. I'm saying, but I gotta go back to the combine because Dwight Howard's numbers were freakish when he came into the NBA. I'm saying I got to go compare his numbers to what Will and Bill.
Okay, we can shut this logic down. Hey, Damo, we can shut this logic down right now. You know how we can shut this logic down right now? You know why when the ball touches the top of the backboard, it's illegal? You know why? The reason why is because Wilt could touch the top of the backboard.
Dwight could too.
Without running. So they put a rule in the game. They put a rule in the game that when the ball touches the top, because Will could grab the ball off the top of the backboard. So they put a rule in the game that when the ball touches the top of the backboard, it's illegal. You can't do that anymore. So let's kill the logic about jumping.
Dwight did too. Dwight did too. What are you talking about?
We're talking about numbers.
Games ticket. Dwight.
Hold on. And I can defeat his logic with this too. I can tell you other people who jump higher and were more athletic, in my opinion, than Wilt Chamberlain. DeAndre Jordan in his prime. Lob City in these streets. Sucker. Lob City in these.
That's fair.
Bob, I threw one from Africa on him, Bob. Lob City in these streets. Go back and watch DeAndre Jordan in his prime. Yeah, Now I want you to pull up on that one, Grillio Spark. Pull up on that one. I cooked your ass. You finished, bro. Go give me somebody.
I'm not going
you go give me somebody with DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan was off the party.
All right, take it and chill. Okay, take it and chill. Take it and chill.
You heard me get quiet, Ron. All of them got quiet when I said DeAndre Jordan, Ron. We got quiet. They got quiet when I said DeAndre Jordan. You can't contest that.
All right, fellas, y'all both cooked each other. Pick it. You cooked them already. It's over.
Hold on, Ron. Here go the double whammy right here for your grill town. Two of them dudes on the same team, and they was more athletic than all them dudes you talking about. Because guess what? Blake Griffin's on that team too. Sucker.
All right, y'all. Chat. This is what happens when an immovable force meets an unstoppable object, or whatever they call it. That's what it is right there. They just cook each other back and forth. But I want to get on to my next comparison. Mars, you're gonna like this one. Trae Young. They're saying his comp is Steve Nash with a green light. How do we feel about this?
I see.
Why do you see? What are you looking at, Mars? That you see? What are you looking at between these two guys? Because the thing I'm thinking about, Mars, when I think about Steve Nash and these two, as the lead guard, I'm thinking about your shot selection is very important. That's a basketball IQ thing.
Well, that's the green light explanation right there. That's why it says with a green light. Trae Young.
But if you have, if you have the green light, that doesn't mean that you shoot the ball every time, though, Mars.
He doesn't shoot the ball every time.
But he shoots a lot of bad shots that puts his team in pretty precarious situations. Steve Nash, on the other hand, Steve Nash scored in the way that helped his unit. And he didn't put his unit in the hole as not nearly as much as Trae Young did.
I agree. That's why I don't think they're the exact same player. I just said I see it. I see where it's coming from. I think they both utilize their bigs in similar ways. I think Steve Nash maximizes bigs more, giving them better opportunities, but they both use bigs in similar ways. They both rely on spacing in a way that not many other point guards use. I think Steve Nash was a better finisher than Trae Young. I think Steve Nash is just a better player, but both clearly defensive liabilities, especially on the ball, even though I think Steve Nash tried harder than Trae Young on defense, but both bad defenders, both some of the most elite passers in the league at the time. Trae Young, probably a top 5 passer. Steve Nash, to me, was the best passer in the league at the time. Both elite shooters. I think what's
elite
Trae Young,
shooters? You think?
Yes,
you think Trae's an elite shooter?
Yes,
okay.
I think Trae's an elite shooter.
I
think what Trae Young does is he takes a lot of deep ones that ultimately affects his percentages. And Steve Nash operated more in the mid range and didn't take as many threes. Right. But both definitely elite shooters, in my opinion. Both ball dominant. Both don't really play without the basketball, but can on occasion. I see the comparison. Trae Young to me is just like it says, Steve Nash with a green light. Much worse than every aspect that he's good at, but Steve Nash with a green light.
Hey, my bad. I don't know the preseason.
I think they did
next
that.
week
Like,
ticket.
I don't like how they did that. Made it put it. Oh, Steve Nash with a green light. Steve Nash had a green light. That putting Steve Nash with the green light is just a cop out to make it look like because
he wasn't allowed to take more.
Yeah, because Trae Young just takes stupid ass shots. He just does dumb shit with the ball. So they put Steve Nash with the green light. But it's like, nah, Steve Nash did not have a green light. He was just too good of a basketball player to do the dumb shit that Trae Young does.
I agree.
So it's like, that's why putting that on there is just like, that's crazy. Like, there's no.
Hey, Bob, I didn't know the preseason started tomorrow.
I know we got Toronto.
Yeah,
we got Toronto on Sunday.
The preseason starts tomorrow, bro. That's crazy, Ron.
Didn't they just open up training camp? Like literally, like
yesterday. Hey, Ron, my bad. I didn't mean to cut y'all off and interrupt, but I just looked. The Mavs play the T-Wolves tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
The preseason doesn't start until Sunday, Tiki.
No, tomorrow.
for the Kings, though.
No.
Maybe that might be something wrong with you, bro.
No.
They're playing
I know what you said, Bob.
Yeah, don't start for him until Sunday.
That's what it is, Mars. That's why I said that time, Mars. That's why I said 12.
They're playing in Abu Dhabi. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the Mavs and the T-Wolves. Yeah, the Mavs and the T-Wolves play tomorrow at 12. That's the first preseason game.
And
then the Lakers play the Warriors. The Lakers play the Warriors. The Lakers play the Warriors on Friday night. That's the preseason.
This Friday coming up?
Yes, on Friday the Lakers play the Warriors. They play at the Warriors, and then the T-Wolves play the Mavs again. So it's a doubleheader on Friday at 8:30 p.m. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the first Lakers game. Ron, my bad for cutting you off with the Lakers and the Warriors play that game. The Lakers and the Warriors Friday. I just didn't. I was looking. I was looking.
Question, Marquavian. No, I'm not saying that. No,
I was looking and it came up. I was like, so damn, the Mavs play the T-Wolves tomorrow. That's crazy. So while we're on here, that game will be on NBA TV tomorrow.
Where they playing at?
Yeah.
Playing that overseas. And Mars said Abu Dhabi, Mars?
Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, they out there right now. They out there riding the camels and doing all the local stuff and whatnot.
That's crazy.
I thought you was making jokes, man. My bad. I was about to say, bro.
I thought the preseason didn't start till next week, but all right.
Me too. They changed it. They changed everything, man. They changed everything, bro.
That's what's
so
up.
the Lakers and the Warriors on Friday night. Here we go, Damo. So now we go see that cap you talking is real. We see that 3-guard lineup, baby.
Damo, you care about the preseason at all, Damo, or you straight?
6 guards on the court at the same time. 6 guards, maybe 7.
Every game of basketball matters to me.
Okay, so
every
you care
game
about
matters.
The preseason. All right, no problem.
I like that, Damo. That's what's up. W answer, Damo. W answer. Mm-hmm. But I meant to ask Fluent yesterday if he was going to go to that preseason game and watch us kick the shit out of the Raptors.
It's in Toronto.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. All right.
All right, y'all. I got a couple more player comparisons. I want to run these down and see how you guys feel about this. I feel like this one's a pretty easy one, but we got Anthony Edwards compared to D Wade with just a better outside shot. How are we feeling about this?
Why they keep doing this? Like, why don't they say Anthony Edwards with the better to the basket game is like D Wade with the better outside shot?
That comparison is bad, man. He don't have nothing that D Wade has going to the cup. D Wade was way more of a slicker, slasher, everything. Ant-Man is a better perimeter shooter. It's two completely different players, bro. The guy you compare D Wade to is not him. The guy I would compare D Wade to the most is playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers right now, and that is old boy Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, other than that, Ant-Man and D Wade, hell no. D Wade's game was completely different. D Wade was more of a slasher, and if he had to, he'd shoot the jumper, but he was way more of a slasher than what Ant-Man could ever think about being. I don't even think Ant-Man has
Mitchell shoots more than Anthony Edwards.
Huh?
Donovan Mitchell takes more jump shots than Anthony Edwards does.
No, but I'm saying, but he kind of reminds you more of the ability to slash and get to the basket like D Wade than Ant-Man does. Is what I'm saying. I agree with you on that, Mars. I'm just saying with Ant-Man, he don't do none of that slashing like D Wade did. You don't see none of that from Ant-Man like what D Wade did.
That's not true.
You think? Hold on. You seen D Wade doing? I mean, you seen Ant-Man doing a lot of slashing to the basket and finishing like that, like D Wade,
and get to the rack.
Yes, and
I
gets to the
don't
rack.
think anyone compares to D Wade.
I'm not saying he's as good as D Wade, but in terms of if I'm making a similarity, if I'm making a comparison, I would say I would compare him.
Hold on, you think he's more? You think he's more of a comparison to D Wade than Donovan Mitchell?
In some ways, yes. In other ways, no. In some ways, I feel Donovan Mitchell in terms of physically, like being like the actual speed and how he gets through. D Mitch because he's smaller seems more athletic, but I mean Ant gets up, Ant jumps. So I mean I'm not gonna call him more athletic than Ant.
But Damo, doesn't a majority of Ant's points come on jumpers and threes, mid-range shots and threes?
Definitely,
I don't believe that.
Definitely,
I'm not saying he does not shoot mid-range.
He does not play in the mid-range, which I think that's the separator right there with him. He does not play in the mid-range as much as he should.
His is 3 and at the rim. That's Anthony Edwards' game right now. He doesn't have a mid-range game at all.
He does not play in the mid-range.
And that's another reason why he would fit. That's why the comparison fits. If you watch Ant his first 2 years, like he was literally at the rim over people.
I gotta look this up, man. I gotta look them facts up with y'all because y'all know y'all some capping ass dudes. Hold on, man.
when you watch Ant play,
Mars, pull up Ant stats on mid-range jump shots. How many mid-range jump shots?
Basketball reference for you?
No.
Yeah, Mars and Low got these little secret pages they be going to and pulling up stats.
Okay, so in his career, 13% of all Anthony Edwards field goals are mid-range jump shots. 13.
And how many are from three?
42%.
Damn. 42% of these passes from three. God, no. And then if you hold on, Mars, but now look at D Wade. How much was D Wade finishing at the basket? That means that Ant-Man's going to the basket like right under, like probably around 46, 45% of the time.
Anthony Edwards 0 to 3 feet in his career, 29% of his shots.
Which is why I feel like when I watch Anthony Edwards, I think that he's, and I'm on record saying this, I think he a more athletic version of Mitch Richmond when I watch him. Just a dude who, when he gets to the rim, he's just brute and he's just beating up on guys. He could shoot the long ball like Mitch Richmond could, but he could also get to the rim with the best of them. And he's a better athlete than Mitch Richmond. So that's why when I watch Anthony Edwards, that's who he reminds me. He reminds me of Mitch.
What was D Wade? Hold on. What was D Wade, Mars? What was D Wade numbers?
D Wade in his career, and this is including the years where he was past his prime and still not getting to the rim as much. He was 34% of his shots were from 0 to 3 feet. And if I add that out correctly, 38% of his shots were from in the mid-range.
Ticket, I don't think
10% were from three.
I'm sorry, Moss.
And 10% are from three. So
Ticket,
you're done. I'm done. Sorry.
Ticket, I don't think you give Dwayne Wade enough credit. He had a respectable mid-range game, and he did go to it. It wasn't like D Wade never shot the mid-range. He shot in the mid-range, and he shot a lot in the mid-range.
Well, I do think he did. I don't compare Ant-Man's game to D Wade, bro. I really do think that when I watch Donovan Mitchell, he's a guy I think that the one guy I think that is comparable in any sense to what D Wade did. Ant-Man, I think more of, I don't know who Ant-Man game is like, man. Ant-Man play like Jason Tatum play a little bit to me. So that's what I think they play like. I think they play like 3 ball, get to the basket. 3 ball, get to the basket.
Well, Ticket, speaking of Jason Tatum, this is our next one. We got Jason Tatum, who's being compared to another former Celtic, Paul Pierce, and they're saying he's a better all-around Paul Pierce. How are we feeling about this one?
How's he better all around?
You muted, Damo.
I'm about to say, so you're just saying he's better than Paul Pierce? What does a better all-around Paul Pierce mean? He's a better player than Paul Pierce.
That's what it sounded like to me.
When I think
they just got compared because they play for Boston.
At that point,
these comparisons are lazy. Bleacher Report, do better, please, because this is bad.
I think
that's why when you said shout out Bleacher Report when you started this, I almost said something, but I was like, nah, because you know what I'm saying. I don't want to make.
They literally just compared them because they play for Boston.
Who's responsible for this? Whoever did this is actively, like right now, smoking dope. Right now.
Hold on. They said him. Who? Chilltown. They said
him and Paul Pierce. Jason Tatum and Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce.
What?
He said he basically a better version of Paul Pierce.
Hell no, he's way different than Paul Pierce.
Yeah,
they don't.
I look at Jason Tatum. I think he's a less athletic version. He reminds me a lot of Tracy McGrady, except not as good an athlete.
That's true.
That's what he reminds me of more than anything when I watch him. I think he's kind of got a similar. He's got a similar build. His skill set in terms of his ball handling. I think Tracy McGrady was a little bit nicer with the pill. I think Jason Tatum is just as good. I think T-Mac might have been better in the mid-range, but I think that's the comparison I see when I watch Jason Tatum, and I think it's Tracy McGrady.
He could get closer to that if he works on that mid-range, Chilltown.
If he put that mid-range in his game and consistently, he's a top 3 player in the game for the next 8 years. He's a top 3 player.
He's not going to do that, Chilltown. That's bad analytics.
But you think for someone who idolizes Kobe, you think he'd do it. That's what confuses me.
Right.
Right,
Mars, he talk about Kobe all day long. So I'm thinking like you should live in the 15 to 18 foot range. You should live there.
Right.
Yo, I don't idolize De'Aaron Fox. I don't idolize anybody. But
you idolize him. You idolize him, and you idolize that other boy y'all got, the young boy with the face with the baby hair on his face. What's the boy's name? Keegan Murray. Yeah. You idolize him too.
I really enjoy watching my team play basketball, but I don't idolize these young men. What I'm saying is that it's not to me. I think that you should shoot open shots. I don't think there's such thing as a bad open jump shot in basketball. But according to the analytic nerds and
but De'Aaron Fox shoot tough. De'Aaron Fox shoot tough contested shots. You don't complain about that.
This isn't about De'Aaron Fox. I'm
making it about him.
You're not making shit. I'm talking about. I'm talking about what I'm talking about. I don't. You know what I'm saying? For basketball, I'm like, because
But why you don't keep that same energy for him then?
What I'm saying is this. Look, I'm talking about in basketball. They always say, "Oh, a long two ball is the worst shot you could take in basketball. It's bad analytics." All the basketball statements. You know what I'm saying? I don't subscribe to that way of thinking. I think you shoot what's open. You play basketball, shoot open jump shots. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's a 19-footer, shoot that. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, that's not allowed. If you shoot a 19-foot jump shot, you make it, they might take your ass out the game.
Hey, in the comments, people saying Killtown he don't watch Tatum. What y'all talking about? We don't watch Tatum. Bro, we seeing it on the screen. Bro, he not shooting the mid-range, bro. He not shoot. All he do is shoot threes, dribble, take him to the cup, bro. If he add the mid-range, which he does not display on a regular basis, we watching this. All y'all that saying that we don't watch Tatum, what are y'all talking about?
Ticket and Mars also, they know this. Who's a bigger Jason Tatum guy than me? I watch that dude all the time. So get that. That's not true.
I compare Jason Tatum.
That's crazy. That's crazy, Ticket. Like, how
you said to Paul George?
We don't watch basketball.
I don't know, but no, I do. What
kind of goofy ass?
I do know you be glazing. I do know you be glazing De'Aaron Fox though. You glaze De'Aaron Fox though.
Minimal glaze, but
no, maximum glaze because he takes.
What you looking at?
Some of the worst shots. He takes some of the worst shots in the NBA. He takes some of the toughest.
He's a tough shot maker. What can I say?
Right, but you don't hold on. But you don't complain about that. But you just tore down Ron's guy, Trae Young.
I might complain. Hold on. I'm not gonna sit here and allow you to compare Trae Young.
You tore down Ron's guy, Trae Young, and said he takes terrible shots compared to what Steve Nash is doing. Ron put up the Steve Nash comparison. You said that, but you don't hold that same energy to De'Aaron Fox.
Nigga, hold on, because I was raised to where in-house shit stays in-house. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go outside talking shit about some shit my brother did last night at the dinner table. We don't do that. So when the cameras is on, you ain't gonna hear me saying.
But you just attack his guy though.
When these cameras go off, ain't no telling what I'll say about you.
But you just attack his guy though. You just down Trae Young.
Trae Young ain't a part of the family. You know what I'm saying?
But you attack Trae Young.
I never take sides against the family when the cameras is on.
But you don't just now. That's family to run.
Ticket, it's all good. Hey, Ticket, it's all good. Bob know what's up. Deep down in that itty bitty heart that God blessed him with, he know what's going on.
No,
he know what's up. If we comparing Trae Young with De'Aaron Fox, he know what it is.
I just caught that, and I just wanted him to keep the same energy because he told Mars when Mars was talking about the comparison with Steve Nash, he said Trae Young shoots horrible shots and he got a poor shot selection. Well, who shoots worse shots than this dude glaze every single day during the season, De'Aaron Fox? But he'll come in and say, oh, because he can, and he the clutches this and the third. But hey, Ron, it's only one person I've seen lead his team to the conference finals doing it between those two guys, and that's Trae Young.
Yeah, I'm a De'Aaron jockstrap sniffer, bro. Whatever. So,
hey, what do the jockstrap smell like, Bob?
Yo,
hey, Mars, you were saying Jason Tatum and Paul George. What are you looking at? Because I'm trying to see that comparison.
The way they handle the ball. He's not as good as Paul George, but the way they do handle the ball, I think they have very similar strategies and how they break down the defenders. Very high volume of threes. I think is very comparable. If I were to look it up, I'd probably see similar numbers. I'm talking about like OKC Paul George, not Indiana or Clippers Paul George. OKC Paul George. Very similar in terms of how many threes they get up. They're both not as good at the rim as I think they should be, especially below the rim. Above the rim, I think they're fine, but below the rim, I think they both seem to struggle around. Not as much. They seem to struggle more than you would think someone at their size would. Both aren't highly predominant mid-range shooters. Paul George fell back on it more than Jason Tatum. Self-create a lot of their shots, especially from three. A lot of their shots are pull-up threes or in transition, not many catch and shoots. Both have similar flaws when it comes to playmaking and reading the floor. You probably don't want either one of them as your primary decision maker. Defensively, I think they're similar. I think Jason Tatum probably has more more responsibility as like a roamer and a rim protector, whereas Paul George is more primary, get around screens, contest on the perimeter, but very similar in terms of their value defensively. Is there anything else I'm missing? Probably not. That's probably where I'm at with Paul George.
That's crazy. Mars brought up Paul George because I think he's the only player I've seen in NBA history peak so early and then not like peak after that. I think he just like stayed the same.
Well, he did break his leg.
I was going to say the exact same thing. He broke
his leg, and that really derailed where he was on his way to, because he was on his way to doing something special before he broke his leg. That was in like year 4.
You think he would have got better than what he did if he would have broke his leg?
Well, I think he was better in OKC than he was in Indiana, personally. So
hold on, you think he was what?
Yes, I think OKC Paul George is better.
But I'm saying the dude who took the team to the conference finals and almost beat LeBron and them, you think that OKC was better than that Paul George?
I think that I think the OKC Paul George. I think that Paul George would have been in Indiana earlier had he not broken his leg.
No, but the Paul George in Indiana was a way better defender, Chilltown.
Sorry, that's what I'm saying. And this is what I'm saying, Ticket. This is what I mean. I mean, the guy who was in Oklahoma City, who was the first team All-League defender, who was in the top 3 in league MVP votes, had he not broken his leg, that dude would have shown up earlier in Indiana. We wouldn't have seen him in Oklahoma City.
Is that the same?
I think we would have seen him earlier.
Is that the same level? Would you guys? This is a good question. Would you guys think that that's the same level that old boys on now for the Celtics? Jason Tatum. You guys think that the level Paul George was on when he went to the conference finals? Do you think that that's the level that Tatum's on now, or do you think that Tatum's on a higher level than that?
I don't think Jason Tatum's better than Paul George.
I can't say
approaching that level. I think he's approaching that level now. I don't think he's been at it or past it up to this point.
Oh, so you don't think he passed the Paul George level when he was in Indiana?
Oh, Indiana.
As a
when Paul George
where Jason Tatum is right now, I do think he passed. I think right where Jason Tatum is now, he did pass Paul George in Indiana. Yes, he did, but he did not. I don't think he passed Paul George in OKC yet. No, I don't think he passed that guy.
Wait, y'all really think? Hold on.
Paul George. Wait,
I'm talking about Indiana Paul George. Hold on. Y'all really think?
Yeah, I think Jason Tatum is better than.
Hold on. Y'all really think the OKC Paul George, who wasn't as good defensively, who wasn't that much of he was better offensively because he was playing with Russ. But y'all think he would have been that good if he probably was playing with another guy like Russ in Indiana because he wouldn't have had all the pressure on him defensively. Y'all really think? That dude in Indiana was a monster, bro. That dude in Indiana was a monster, bro. Yo, Paul George in Indiana was a monster.
100% he was.
OKC Paul George was 3rd in Defensive Player of the Year. So technically, I could.
Which year was that? The MVP year? The year he was up for MVP voting?
Yes. He was top 3 in both. Yes, MVP and Defensive Player.
First team all. He was the first team all defender.
I could say OKC Paul George was a better defender if I cared about that stuff. I don't. I think.
So, hold on, Mars. Hold on,
technically, he was.
Hold on, Mars. Wasn't he all defense in Indiana too, in all NBA?
All defense ain't top 3 in MVP. I mean,
no, in Indiana, the year that they played LeBron and they went to 7 games, wasn't he all NBA and all defense that year too?
He was on his way.
I don't know if he was all NBA. He was probably all defense. I don't know if he was all NBA.
I think he was all NBA.
He had to have been all NBA.
Yeah,
he might have been. I don't know the all NBA team in 2014.
In 13, he was all NBA. That was the year that they was it 12? 12 is when they went 7 games. He didn't make the all NBA team that year. The next year when they lost to them in 6 games, he made the all NBA and the all defensive team. He did do that at that point.
Right. So
and then he broke his leg. I think in 15. I think he broke his leg.
Yeah. Because he missed in 2014. In 2014 and 14-15 is when he missed Chilltown.
Right, because he broke his leg. It was at the. Right. It was an Olympics. Yeah, it was during the Olympics.
So in 2013, he was 13 All NBA. 13.
Right. Did he make the All-League defensive team that year too?
I'll look. In 2014, he was 3rd team again. So he was 3rd team twice in Indiana. In OKC, right. I think he was 1st team. So if we're going off these, hold
on, Mars. What about 2016, 17?
No, he was coming back from injury. He averaged
23.7. It was an all-star that year.
Yeah,
but he still was in transition though. Ticket.
2016, 17. He was not all NBA. But
it was when he went to Oklahoma City.
Defense. We'll look at all defense. So 2014, Paul George was first team all defense.
In 14.
And 2013, he was second team all defense.
So he was an elite defender at that point.
And in 2019,
you know what, Mar? I give you that, you little rascal. I give you the 1 year. I give you that one. I give you that 1 year. The 1 year in OKC, because the first year he went over there, he was only 21 points a game, 21.9 in OKC the first year. So the year he had in Indiana, that was that 1 year he played with Russ. That 1 year he played with Russ is the year that Mars is referring to. The one, I mean, not Russ, but the 1 year he averaged 28 with Russ. That was the best average of his career. Every other season has been around 24, 23 or something like that. Right. So I do that. But I just thought that personally, the level he was playing as the number one guy on that Indiana team, I thought that was his peak. Like that was his absolute best. And I was asking y'all, since we talking about Tatum, do y'all think Tatum has reached that level yet? And y'all think he has. I'm still at the point where I think he might be right there at that level. I don't think he has surpassed that Indiana Paul George level where he was at when they played LeBron 7 games.
Now remember too, Ticket, when they played them in 14, I think that was year 3. I think he broke his leg in year. I think he broke his leg the next year, that summer, and I think that was year 4. So he still was relatively young. I mean, Tatum is going into year 7. So at this point, I'd like to think that Tatum is better than Indiana Paul George, largely due to the fact that Paul George broke his leg. Had he not broken his leg, he was on his way to being way better than what he was.
Well, the year before he broke his leg, is he better than that now? Because I thought Paul George was better defensively, right? He was just as well. I could make an argument about offense because of the way the league was played. Then it was a slower pace, so I could make an argument about the offense because I think Paul George would average like around 22 points because of how the league was paced out at that time. You know what I'm saying? Versus now. So I can make that. I'm just saying, bro. I don't think he cleared him. I don't think he cleared him.
I don't think he clears. I just think he's better. But I don't think he clears.
I do too.
No, I'm talking about no, Mars. I'm talking about Indiana Paul George at his peak.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm saying I don't think Tatum.
I don't think it's like this, Ticket. I think it's a lot closer.
I do think Tatum's better, but I don't think.
But I do think he's better though.
I'm definitely not down to have the conversation.
So is it close defensively?
No, I think Paul George is the better defender than Jason Tatum.
So if it's not close defensively, and then do you guys think it was close offensively or what?
Not really. I think Jason Tatum's a better offensive player.
Hold on, but why would I just gave you the error excuse, Mars, the error attacks?
I'm not mad about the error attacks. I think Paul George would score more in today's game. I think Jason Tatum is still a better
30 a game. Mars,
hold on, but didn't Paul George have a better offensive game than doesn't Dick have a better offensive game?
The handle wasn't as refined, the self-creation wasn't as good. He was better at the rim. I never said any of those things were bad. I said they weren't as refined.
No.
I never said he had a bad handle.
Paul George's skill set in 14 wasn't ball handling. His ability to get to the rim. That wasn't nearly as high. He just doesn't go to it. Yes, we are. Because I've seen Jason Tatum shoot the mid range. I watched him last Christmas when they played against Milwaukee. Put Drew Holiday on his hip in the mid range. And just basically slay him. And I'm thinking to myself, if he goes to that more, because he clearly has it in his game, if he goes to that more, you dudes are dead. Now, Jason Tatum, who has a more refined game offensively, Paul George, OKC, had that. He did not have that in 2014. His skill set wasn't nearly as sharp. His jump shot wasn't nearly as refined in 2014, 2015 than what it was when he was in Oklahoma City in 2018, 2019. Not close. No.
Well, I can defeat that logic because the last couple of years, Tatum has been 35 from the 3. That year alone, Paul George was 36 from the 3. So he was better from the 3. He was equal at the free throw line pretty much. And he was way better defensively. And from the field, okay, I get it to Jason Tatum from the field, but that's because Jason Tatum was getting to the basket in a weaker era as far as rim protection. So I use the air attacks on that as far as the rim protection. So when I say that, all I'm saying to you guys is this, you and Mars is this. I think that in Indiana, his game was better, more refined than what Jason Tatum's is now. I think Jason Tatum is 3-pointer or driving to the cup now. And that's it right now. I don't think his mid-range game is nowhere near existent. I thought at Indiana, I thought Paul George could break you down. He could hit the three. He could hit the mid-range. He could take you to the cup, and he was versatile. And he showed you, and Mars said his handle wasn't as refined. I think that's bull jive because PG's handles was nice then because he was creating and hitting game winners back then.
I just don't think it's as refined as it was later on. I never said he had a bad handle.
No, do you think it's more refined than what Jason Tatum is right now?
No, but I think he can get to his spots. I think he could get to spots. I think he could get to the rim well. The biggest issue for me is I think Paul George's lack of playmaking and passing at that time is what holds him back. As a scorer, I'm willing to have the conversation about who is more refined because I agree with you about Jason Tatum's mid-range game and the lack of it. I'm not going to argue about scoring versatility. I think Paul George scored from all three levels. He didn't have much of a post game at that time, but neither does Jason Tatum. So once again, I'm not going to argue about scoring versatility and ability to do things at multiple levels. The difference for me is I think Jason Tatum's a better decision maker, and I think Jason Tatum's a better passer. That's where I think Paul George was lacking behind, and I think he developed that later on. And in OKC, I think he was better at that, and I think on the Clippers, he's even better at that than he was in OKC. I think that's what's become more refined, and the handle has gotten better as years have gone on. He was still great, and that's why I think I'm willing to have the conversation. I just think Jason Tatum was a bit better.
But you just said that their assists are right around the same, but Tatum, I mean, Paul George.
First of all, you talking about Paul George shooting the long ball. Number one, he didn't shoot the long ball back in 2014 with nearly the volume that Jason Tatum is shooting it today, even though they shot around the same. So if Paul George is shooting 7-8 threes a game, fast forward that, you think he's still shooting the same percentage? I don't think so. I do not.
Well, I mean, you gotta look at the lack of defense now versus then. Back then, guys were up. Back then, he was playing, and especially he was playing teams like Miami Heat and all those other teams. They were going to play defense on you. So it was harder shot creation. Now it's easier to get those shots off because a lot of those shots he's getting is not just off his own creation, but extra passes, swinging the ball, hockey passes, and things like that. Because they got a whole team full of guys that can shoot the ball, and they got guards who can bring it up, handle it, and get him the ball in positions where he can shoot open threes. That wasn't too much like that for Paul George. Paul George had a lot of creation on his own 3-point shots at that time, sir. So yeah, when we look at the comparison,
keep going. I'm sorry.
I'm about to finish now. When we look at the comparison, yeah, I think that it's similarities, but I just think that Paul George, his game was way more refined. I thought he had the midi. I thought he was a better 3-point shooter at the time, which he proven he was. I just think that you could give Jason Tatum better finishing at the basket, because I think this era is easier to score at the basket than it was at that time when Paul George was in Indiana. But that's it. Other than that, it's a mere bag of shells, sucker. Damn.
I'd give
all right, fellas.
Jason Tatum the shooting personally. But
we got a lot of super chats. I'm gonna go ahead and run down these super chats. Appreciate everybody that's tapped in. Also, you see the title of the show. The Brooklyn Nets are a serious dark horse contender in the East. We'll talk about them. We'll talk about Mikal Bridges. We'll talk about what Ben Simmons is going to look like on his comeback. We're going to break down the Brooklyn Nets. But before I do so, we got a couple super chats. My man David Mujinaya says, start bench cut, AI, Reggie, Harden. How we feeling about this, fellas?
Harden, AI, Reggie.
In that order that it
came. Oh, you said what?
Start AI, bench Reggie, cut James.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Bob, because I know Mars didn't say start Harden.
Yes,
I know
he flipped it right. He said start James Harden. He said bench AI. And he said cut Reggie Miller.
You said start James Harden, Mars.
We've had the AI Harden debate several times.
Mars, I don't give a damn what debate you had. Mars, Mars, I ain't gonna say that. Go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about how we did get to the finals.
This is what I be talking about with these dudes, Ron. This is why I be saying that the appreciation for being a winner is that Mars and them don't respect that type of shit, bro. They don't. They don't respect a dude who actually went out there and tried to play the game to win instead of a dude who went out here and played for stats, bro. James, we can see for ourselves, James Harden played with most of his career. We compile all them stats. We all thought he was great for stats. It wasn't about winning. With guys like AI and those guys, they actually were playing to try to win the game. The stats just came with it. So to uplift a dude like James Harden and put him and start him, man, come on, bro. This is why I be on you and Lowe's helmet, and I ain't never gonna stop.
I would flip Harden and Reggie Miller, so I would bench Harden and cut Reggie, but starting AI.
Okay.
Hold on, you said cut Reggie. Hold on, I'm gonna get you too. You said cut Reggie. You lost your damn mind. Reggie Miller led a team to the NBA Finals. The hell is wrong with you? Reggie Miller was going to war with Michael Jordan in 7-game series. Well, who are you talking about? Reggie Miller, the only reason why he lost is because he played against Kobe and Shaq. Well, what the hell are you talking about? He would have had a championship if it wasn't for Kobe and Shaq. Y'all praising James Harden? James Harden should be the last dudes on everybody's freaking list, bro. Nobody should praise that bum. Period.
Ticket, I'm not about to argue with you about Harden over Reggie Miller. Go ahead, Ron.
Blind Tate 313 with the super chat says, since Dame a loser, who is a top 5 or 10 PG that's a winner besides Curry?
Kyrie.
Magic.
I think he's talking about right now.
J Kidd.
All right.
The only guy.
He's talking about right now. No.
Any active PG that's playing right
Oh,
now.
my bad.
It's
none.
It's
Curry and Kyrie. Yeah, Kyrie and if we doing that, Curry and Kyrie.
Unless you think Kyle Lowry's a top 10 point.
Wait.
Nobody thinks Kyle Lowry is a top 10 point guard.
Wait. Can I hear the question one more time? I'm still distracted. I'm still thinking about them fried alligator tail at Papa Do's. So.
Would you focus, Big Ox? Where you at? Where you at, big fella?
In my mind, I'm at Papa Do's.
Come on, B. Get with us, yo. What you doing?
It was just out of, because the super chat's not here anymore. It's any active player. Well, since we said that Dame's a loser, name another top 5 or top 10 point guard that's actually a winner besides Steph Curry.
So actively today, that could be a top 10 point guard.
No, that is. That is.
No, just today.
No, that is today.
Of the top 10 point guards in the league today, how many of them are winners? Besides
Curry,
got you.
Irv, Murray,
Jamal Murray.
It's
one more.
Some would say.
Hold on. I got you. Hold on. Y'all forgot this one. He just got traded to the Celtics.
Yeah,
Drew Holiday. Sure. Okay. Drew Holiday.
Okay, my bad, Mars. So that's 5. That's 4 right there, right?
That's 4.
Wait, Drew Holiday's a top 10 point guard?
I said some would say.
Right. In the league right now. Hold on.
What
about Fred VanVleet, Morris?
Facts. Fred VanVleet. There we go. That's 5. Fred VanVleet.
So that, but hold on. Name 10 point guards better than Drew Holiday right now, Damo. I dare you to do it.
Maybe it's okay. Well, relax. No one's trying to argue with you. I'm just saying Drew Holiday might be one of those names where it's like I might start naming 10 and realizing he's at probably 7, 8, 9. And I'm like, okay, yeah, he's a top 10.
If we call that criteria, sure.
Well,
he might be top 10, he might not be. You have to make a list to see where he is. He's not like definitive like Steph and Luka. Like you just know they're top 10.
I mean, he's definitely not top 5. Is he in the top 10? I'm trying to think.
It ain't too many great point guards in the league no more.
So in the last 2 years, so since 21, right? Since they won the NBA championship in 21 in the 2021 season, in the last 2 years, what point guard is an all-star and an all-league defender?
Luka, Curry.
Well, both. No.
Nobody.
Yeah,
none of them.
Yeah, none of them are both. But
Drew Holiday is.
Yeah, but that's still better than him, in my opinion. But
when they say winner, that means they had to win a championship.
To me, yeah, you're a loser if you haven't won. You're a winner if you have.
When you're talking to Mars, this is the thing that you have to remember when you're talking basketball with Mars. You have to talk to Mars about a basketball player. The stuff that basketball player has accumulated, that doesn't matter. We got to talk about him being a basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of fair.
You're a winner if you won. You're a loser if you didn't win. It's a pretty simple concept, to be honest. I mean, many losers, there's many winners. Yeah, it's pretty simple. So if you won a championship, you're a winner. If you haven't won, you're a loser. There you go.
Okay.
But you get given 7 years before you become a loser because you get your rookie contract plus the extension. Then after that, you're in loser territory. So
y'all are saying, but Drew Holiday is in y'all's top 10 for point guards.
I think he's got an argument to be a top 10 point guard. Sure. Yeah.
I don't have. It's not 10 point guards. I'll take over Drew.
Jalen Brunson or Drew Holiday.
Drew. I think Drew.
Damian Lillard.
Dame.
Trey.
Dame. I mean Trey. I'm taking Trey.
Halliburton.
I'm taking Halliburton.
Garland.
Ja. Who'd you say, Miles?
I'm just going down as I see.
I'm not taking.
Who'd you say, Miles? The one you just said.
I just said Garland.
I want Drew.
Now we're at Ja Morant.
I'm taking Ja.
Jamal Murray.
I'm taking Jamal.
I want Drew over Jamal.
Luka, Kyrie.
Both of them.
Steph. Well, Steph's obvious.
Steph is obvious, and I'd be 10 right there.
Shea.
I'm taking Shea.
Is Shea the lead guard? Okay.
Josh Giddey.
Nah, it's
De'Aaron Fox.
Oh, man. Come
I
on,
didn't even
man.
name Fox when I did mine, and I would take Fox. So that's
It's
12.
arguable. He might be top 10. He might just be outside.
Well, you name what you call it. Even if because I looked at Chill counted 12 people, and I didn't even name DG. I didn't even say DG. He counted DG, and I mean, if you're gonna make the argument, that pushes it to push him to what 13 now. I don't think you guys. Did you say LaMelo?
If you had I didn't say LaMelo, no.
LaMelo. Yes, LaMelo.
If you have all of them over Drew, then he's not top 10. If you only have a few, then he might be on the back end of the top 10. For me, he might be around 8 to 12.
That's what I was thinking, Mars. You just took the words right out of my mouth. I'm thinking he's anywhere. You can make an argument for him anywhere between 8 to 12, but that's as far as you go.
That's where I'm going. Yeah,
no lower than 12, no higher than 8.
Yeah,
I can see him no lower than actually 14. No lower than 14, 15.
Yeah, you think
all right, y'all.
You know what?
Super chat from Gabe Gibson. He said, Mars, please inform Ticket that you don't care about team success like he does, so he can stop bringing up how far players went in the playoffs as his argument.
Why is that not important, though? Why?
Right now, Shaq better have that money. I'm gonna beat his ass. If Shaq don't have my money, I'm gonna beat the hell out of him.
Hey, Ticket, we can hear you.
Yeah, he wants it to be known to the 1,500 people watching. He wants it to be.
Oh yeah, no, I said if Shaq don't have my money, I'm gonna beat that ass. He know what's up.
Anyway, that super chat. Why is that not important, B? I don't understand that.
Because it's a team sport and one person.
It is, Mars, and with it being
a team
sport,
I know I've put in my experience. I've played on teams where people are just not very good. We don't win. Right. I'm not about to be like, you know what? It's my fault. I'm not doing all that. No, these guys are trash. That's not my problem. Like I can't control who's on the team with me. If they're not good, I'm not about to be like, it's my fault. We ain't win.
That's 100% a fact. But even with that being said, Mars, when you go deep into the playoffs or when you are winning, and it's largely due to you, that needs to be recognized.
Yeah, I give people credit for their impact on the game. I say all the time, impact on the game is important. I just don't value impact on the game as the actual outcome of the game. Because I think, and you would agree, LeBron James in 2018, tremendously impactful. You knew they weren't beating Golden State, right? You knew they weren't going to win that series.
I did not want to see.
No matter how impactful LeBron James is going to be,
he was not beating
the other people on the court aren't going to help him win the game. He could have been the most impactful guy on the floor. He might have been the most impactful guy on the floor. He wasn't winning that series, no matter what he does.
No, he was not.
A team. Now, if we were talking about golf, I care about winning. Individuals, you control the outcome. You're going against other people's individuals. Talking about tennis, individuals, I care. It's winning. Talking about 100-meter sprint, individuals, I care. In a team sport, I'm not going to put major value on the outcome of the games when you got coaching to factor in. You got the other 4 teams on the floor with you, plus the bench.
That is Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. The ether to that is Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Hakeem Olajuwon, and the list goes on. Tim Duncan. That's the ether to that. That shows you that one guy can change the whole complexion of a series. One star player can change the whole complexion.
One guy doesn't win. One guy doesn't win by.
Hey, hold on. Hold on. I'm not even finished with you on that. I can ether everything you just said with one man. Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk Nowitzki beat a super team. He beat a super team. He beat a super team. So
he did beat a super team. They still don't win just because of one man. They won because their defense was great and Dirk Nowitzki was our all-time.
No. I'm saying, but he was the main reason why they won. See, here's the thing you're not doing. If James Harden would have stepped up and balled, he would have been the main reason why they beat the Warriors. He didn't ball though. If James Harden would have stepped up and balled against the Spurs when they were shorthanded, he would have been the main reason why they won. He didn't. He fell apart like a hill of beans. So, like I said before, that does have an impact.
No, I can hear you. I can hear you, Mars.
Okay. So when I never said that players can't be the main reason why they won. Michael Jordan was obviously the main reason the Bulls won. Steph Curry is obviously the main reason the Warriors win. LeBron James is obviously the main reason his teams win. I'm not arguing against the main reason. I'm saying they are not the only reason, so I'm not going to give them all the credit for winning.
No, Mars. I'm saying James Harden. Mars.
You get credit for winning.
I'm saying Harden is the main reason why they lost. I'm saying Harden is the main reason why they lost.
I disagree with you. I don't think if you can be the main reason they win, I don't think you're the main reason the team loses.
So you don't think Mars? You don't think if James Harden steps up against the Spurs? You don't think if James Harden steps up against the Spurs, they don't win that series? If he don't step up against the short-handed Spurs, you don't think they win that series? You don't think if James Harden plays and closes out Game 7 against the Celtics, you don't think they win that series?
Celtics
this past year.
Oh, okay.
I don't think James Harden. You don't think of James Harden? You don't think if James Harden would have balled out in Game 7 against the Golden State Warriors at home, and when they missed 27 straight threes? You don't think if he balls out, they win that series? Man, come get this cook, boy, because it's nice and hot.
I actually think he played well in that Game 7. But yeah, I actually do think he played well in that Game 7. But when we talk about James Harden, do I think he's played bad in playoff games? 1000%. Do I think there's been games in which he's been responsible for his team losing because he was the one who played bad? Sure. I don't think he's the main reason his team loses. And even if he is the main reason his team loses, that doesn't mean I give him all the blame. Like I said, you can be the main reason your team wins. You don't get all the credit. No. I don't think if you're the main reason.
You just said you don't think James Harden, who we saw, hold on, Mars. This is why I disagree with the stuff you say, bro, or some of the stuff you say. You're talented, but this is why some of the stuff you say is complete BS. Bro, well, you have two eyes, bro. You watch James Harden, bro, against a shorthanded San Antonio Spurs team, Chilltown, completely fall apart. If he steps up, Chilltown, and does his job, do they win that game in that series, Chill?
Was that the Manu Ginobili effect?
I think they got a better shot of winning.
They were down 3-2. They lost the game.
Come on, Chill, don't do this. Y'all disgusting, man. Y'all disgusting, man.
I don't think this man listens to him. I never said he wasn't the main reason they lost. I said he's not the only reason. I'm not arguing about him being the main reason. I said I'm not giving him all the blame. I can give him most of the blame. He's the main reason they lost because he played terribly in that game against the Spurs. Sure, I'm saying he's not the only reason because in a team sport, there are other contributing factors to why a team wins and loses. James Harden can score 0 points, get 0 assists, get 10 turnovers, and he's still not the only reason the team loses.
But if he's the primary reason, Mars, that matters. But if he's the primary reason,
how many times do I have to say main? I said main 10 times. Right. Main reason. He's the main reason. I said it a million times. I've not argued against that.
And I just want to make sure we clear on that. I don't want to discount that. I do understand. I do understand your logic about there are other mitigating factors. I can get with that, but those other factors can be supplemented if this main reason wasn't the main reason. So if we got a guy,
I'm not arguing against that. That's why you get most of the blame. You just don't get all of it.
Well, that's the idea, though, Mars. That's why you got star players. That's
a dumb idea to me. I don't just give you all the blame. Oh, you're the star, so when you win, you get all the credit. So when you lose, you get all the blame. I don't give you all the credit when you win.
Well, we have that. That's what a team sport is, Mars. We have to have a guy. We have to have one guy has to be the man.
No,
this dude is the man. Yes,
no, that's right. You can be the man. I'm simply saying, I don't give you all the credit when you win. I don't give LeBron James all the credit when he wins on Miami, all the credit when he wins on Cleveland, all the credit when he wins on the Lakers. So in turn, I'm not going to give him all the blame when he loses. I don't do that. If you give a star player all the credit when they win, sure, you can give them all the blame when they lose. Me, I don't do that. I'm not going to go give you all the blame when you lose and then not give you all the credit when you win. If I'm going to be consistent, I'm going to give you the right amount of credit when you win because you're the main reason why your team won. You were tremendously impactful towards the outcome of the game because you were the one leading your offense. You were anchoring the defense, whatever you were doing. That's tremendously valuable. I will give you the credit you deserve for that. When you lose, I will give you the same amount of credit in return if you played at the bad level. They weren't anchoring the defense very well. You weren't leading the offense very well. I will give you that same amount of discredit when you lose. I'm not going to give you 100% of anything in a team sport because I know, and you guys should know too, you've been on teams where you know you can't control if this guy gets a rebound. You can't control if he makes the shot when you give him the ball. You can't control if he sets a good screen. You cannot control those things. So I'm not going to give you all the blame when there's other people around you. You could have a terrorist as a coach. How am I going to blame you for the fact that your coach is running 3-guard lineups? I can't do that. That's not my business. So I'm going to give you the right amount of blame and credit. That is all I'm saying. You don't get all the credit when you win. You don't get all the blame when you lose. Michael Jordan doesn't get all the credit for the Bulls because I know Scottie Pippen was there. I know Phil Jackson was there. I know Tony Kukoc was there. I know Dennis Rodman was there. I know Horace Grant was there. I know who else was there. I know what they brought to the table. I can't.
That's extremely un-American of you, Mark.
Win or when you lose. I don't get how that's so hard to understand. It's very simple. It's a very simple concept. To me, anyway, but I guess you guys like giving one person all the credit and then want to talk about, we don't rate these role players high enough. But then when the team wins, you just give all the credit to the superstar.
Get off my. This dude is so corny. Shut up, nigga.
But that's just my
Moss.
All right, y'all. We got to keep it pushing because it is time.
Calls me. I think it's incredible, man, that this dude in the chat, he is so. The only reason why he here is because of me. That's number one. And number two, he says that I'm emotional. The dude says that I'm emotional. Meanwhile, all he does is personally attack me. Ticket, if I personally attacked you, all I'm doing is being emotional with you. But this dude is personally attacking me. You welling, man. You doing this, man. You lying, man. But this dude, all he does is personally attack me. I don't owe this dude no money. I ain't screwing none of this dude's chicks. I didn't take none of this dude's job. But every time I turn around, this dude is emotional when it comes to me. What's the story with you, B? What's really your problem?
Hey, Ron. Hey, Ron. Hey, Ron, that boy chills.
I'm timid. Like the dude been in my hood, like he know me. I'm timid, and I'm like, dude, you know me or something?
Hey,
I don't know nothing about you outside of here, and I don't even think about you outside of here. But this dude talk about I'm emotional, but all he does is personally attack me, calling me a liar, all of this other stuff. You break with this dude.
All right, chill. All right.
What's up? I got a question for y'all, Bob. Damo, what type of security guard was still in the jail?
I wasn't a security guard. I was a corrections officer. Let's get it correct. I did not work at the mall. No, I did not.
Hey, look. No. The boys talk back and chill, boy. They're gonna have a nightmare there. Boy, chill, you crazy, man.
All right, y'all. We got to get to the Brooklyn Nets. I want to talk about the Brooklyn Nets, y'all. But I got somebody that he can talk about the Brooklyn Nets better than I can. So I'm gonna get a floor to my man Lee Diggy. He gonna kick us off, man.
There go the neighborhood.
Talk to us about these Nets.
They said Chill was a crooked correctional.
Hey, yo, hold up. I got
some stories for you too, Ticket. I do. I got some stories for you, Ticket. I was not that kind of officer, but I do got some stories for you. I do. I got some stories for you, brother. Yes, I was. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Lee.
I got some stories for you, brother. I do.
Kim, what you doing?
I got some stories for you.
Hey, you was making them niggas drop the soap on purpose.
It was wild in there. It was wild in there. I will tell you this. Real quick, Juan. I was responsible. I worked in the visiting park. So on Saturdays, that was time for visitors. I was off one Saturday, and we had vending machines in the visiting park. And these dudes, we don't have conjugal visits. We had a dude in there who took his chick behind, because we got kids in there, right? We got kids in the visiting park. We had a dude who snuck his chick behind the vending machine, and he was smashing his chick behind the vending machine. I said if I was there that day, I wouldn't have let him pull his pants up. I would have walked that dude in handcuffs through the visiting park with his pants down if I was there that day. That would have never happened. And anybody who tried to do that again, this is what it's going to be for you. If I was there that day, that would have never happened.
In a situation like that, Chitchat, does our girl catch a charge for that?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, she does. I wouldn't have let dude pull his pants up. I would have walked him through the visiting park with his pants down, just like that. I swear to God, I would have done
Ron,
that.
That's where Chill get it from, though, Ron. You wonder where Chill had that edge? Chill working in there with them goons, man. For real, bro. You got it, bro.
Brooklyn.
Bobby. This ain't
Brooklyn.
This ain't the night shift, and this ain't still
Brooklyn.
I'm not going for none of y'all bullshit today, bro. Like that's why not.
Why not leave? We can't speak the truth on the Nets.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because these two individuals over here, bro.
Which ones?
Down here, the one down here with the jersey behind him, and the old head right up here that look like McGruff. They've been giving me shit, like week after week after week, man. And that shit gonna stop.
What you say? Fuck me for?
I just want to hear the logic of Nick Claxton and Ben Simmons on the floor at the same time. That's all I'm waiting to hear.
That's gonna be Cam. And don't forget Cam Thomas. Don't forget Cam.
I'm very interested to hear that logic.
Well, first off, I wasn't gonna go with that logic because.
But anyway, go ahead, Ron. You was about to say something.
No.
Nah, because here's my thing is I'm gonna let Leaf get his take off first. A lot of people don't know. You know, we got a lot of people that are watching the panel that don't know Leaf's takes. So Leaf, I want to hear from you from top to bottom. What are the Brooklyn Nets gonna do this year?
Well, the way
how do you like their lineup or roster?
Well, I like the roster because it's a roster that got rid of most of the defensive liabilities. We basically let Seth Curry and Joe Harris, who was robbing us for like $20 million a year, we basically let them go. And now Jock Vaughn has basically kind of the team that he wants, the coaching staff that he wants. Kevin Ollie is part of the coaching staff as well. I don't think it's going to come down to just Ben Simmons or just Cam Thomas or just Mikal Bridges or just Nick Claxton. I think we're going to win a lot of games by committee. A lot of the games we're going to win with our bench. I also defense, pace, and transition is the way that we kind of want to play. Is the direction that I think we kind of want to go. And we got to see how it's going to work and how it's going to translate this year.
Who is your guy offensively? Who is the guy night in and night out we going to for buckets?
Mikal.
So Mikal is your guy night in and night out we going to for buckets.
Yeah. I think it's Mikal. As far as the starting lineup, it's Mikal. As far as the bench, it could we don't have to premiere Cam Thomas at some point, but I think overall, I think what we want to do as a unit is defense, pace, and transition, and try to speed it up a little bit, a bit more. Because when you go out and get a DSJ, you trying to go downhill and you trying to get easy buckets. When you got Ben Simmons coming back, you trying to go downhill and be more in transition. At least from my understanding. But I think that's what our main thing is that we're gonna do, that we're gonna try to do this year. And we just gotta see if it's gonna work. Yeah, that's basically what we gotta see.
All right, everybody else, how we feeling about the Brooklyn Nets roster?
I don't hate it. I like it. I do. I like
Bobby, watch your fucking mouth, man. This ain't graveyard shift, man. Come on,
this is trash.
Speaking of which, Leaf, I expect to see you there tonight. 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But anyways, I like some of the players on the Nets. It's just I'm just not sure what to expect from Ben Simmons this year. And if you don't have a healthy Ben Simmons, I don't know what to do. Like what y'all gonna do with Cam Thomas? There's just a lot of question marks. I don't know. They like to me. It's like they're a mid team, and they got the ability to be like, like bad mid or good mid, and I don't know who they're better than.
Well, the thing is, I think the first thing you got to look at is the new additions on our team. When you add a DSJ, who was a good point of attack defender, and in the previous year, man, off the bench. At that, and we still got Royce White, who was a good defender on his previous team. DFS was still good defender on his previous team, man. Like, I think that's more additions to guys not being able to like overexert themselves. I think we got the opportunity to run a deep roster this year, bro, or at least have guys that's willing to step up if one guy goes down. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna be more the case. We got Lonnie Walker, we got Jalen Wilson. I don't think he's gonna get minutes this year, but he might if somebody go down. You know, so I think we just got a lot of guys that's in place if other players go down realistically. But the only problematic position on our team is the center position and the backup center because nobody believe in Day'Ron Sharpe.
So Ben Simmons small ball 5.
You said what, Mars?
Run Ben Simmons at the 5.
It's possible, but I think Claxton is probably going to occupy that.
No, I'm talking about like backup, like when Claxton's not on the floor, you can go.
Yeah. I was thinking that too, but it's multiple the lineups that we can run, but we just got to see what works best for us.
Do you think Harry Giles can work for y'all if he stays healthy?
Harry Giles?
Yeah, I mean that's the only other big man y'all got above 6'10".
That's a long shot. Yeah,
that's a long shot. But I mean, what is he there for?
To be honest with you, Damo, I don't even know if Harry Giles is going to be a part of the main the main roster
rotation.
Wait, so y'all got Harry over there?
They got Harry and
we do have Harry. We do got Harry.
All right, well, shit, that damn changes everything for me.
Bobby. Yo, Ron, you see this, bro?
Get them to get Brooklyn up out here for Bob.
No. I'm saying for real. I'm a huge Harry Giles fan for real. For real.
Yeah, Harry Giles was cool, man. I think as a backup, I think he'll be I think he'll be okay once he start getting the minutes and getting in the training camp and everything. But we got to see how everything is question marks right now. We got to the roster is question marks, the start lineup is question marks, the rotations is question marks. We don't know what's gonna happen until the season starts.
So we got all these question marks. Where is Brooklyn as of today? Where is Brooklyn in the Eastern Conference standings? Are you a playoff team? I
honestly don't know. I'll be honest with you. And I think this roster is so new. This coming off the 28 games that we played with Mikal and Dinwiddie and Claxton and everybody else. This roster is so new, and the rest of the Eastern Conferences had made additions all over teams. You got Indiana that made additions. You got obviously Milwaukee, Boston is going to be the class of the East. But outside of that, the only person that believe in Philly is Mars. But outside of that, I think everything is fairly new. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be whole bunch of question marks all over the place outside of 1 and 2 in the East. So we really got to see, man. Nobody's really a contender. Nobody's really it's clay cut bottom feeders, obviously, with Toronto and other teams that didn't make additions or whatever, and other teams that didn't improve. But the teams that did make changes on their rosters and make additions, man, I think that's where we stand at, and we don't know where we're gonna stand between us, Indiana, and a couple of other teams. I'm not sure.
So Leaf, you say y'all in that playing range?
I wouldn't even say that, man. I mean, listen, outside of 1 and 2, it really depends on how the season go and how the rotations go and what works for us, realistically, man. But I think everything is question marks right now. Nobody really knows where Brooklyn's on. That they just going off of the previous
year. So from what you saw
last,
that's what I'm talking about, Leaf. From what you saw last year coming into the season, Ben Simmons is healthy. I actually like Ben Simmons and Mikal Bridges in the backcourt. I actually like that backcourt, and I like Royce. So I like Royce O'Neal. I don't know if you got enough scoring in the post. As good as a defender as Claxton is, I would much rather move. I feel like Claxton. I feel the same way defensively about Claxton as I do about Bam. I would much rather move him to the 4 instead of the 5. I think he'd be much more effective at the 4. But that's neither here nor there. When you're talking about offensively, Ben, who is healthy this year, is going to be better than what he was last year, I think. And with him and Mikal in the backcourt, defensively, I think you're going to cause a lot of problems. Then you got a vet in Spencer Dinwiddie and both him and Finney Smith. So you got defense with also Royce O'Neal. That's where the meat and potatoes of your crew is going to be. So with that being said, is that good enough in the Eastern Conference for you dudes to be a top 6, top 7 seed? I think so.
I think so too. But it's like I said, it's all about how we really put it together. One of the key things about the Eastern Conference is you got to have a multitude of defenders and you got to have a lot of depth. I think the Celtics proved that. I think that I think we do have that in terms of on paper, but we got to put it on court. I think the Celtics proved that when they made their run to the finals, and Miami proved that when they had a whole multiple of dudes to bring off the bench, and they had different guys to key in the playoffs, and they made their run to the finals just this past year. So, I think it's all about what we put out on the court, man. If we playing up to our potential defensively and turning defense into offense easily, because I have course said it's probably going to be Mikal. Motion offense, man, and playing off the ball at the 2, because I believe he has.
Why are you beating around the bush, bro? Can we get a straightforward answer? I need a straightforward prediction, bro.
Where y'all at, Lee? Are y'all playoff team? And the whole I don't know logic. Because you're a Brooklyn dude, Lee.
Stand on it.
The Brooklyn Nets. This is the end of the season. Where are the Brooklyn Nets?
This ain't very Brooklyn to you, Leaf. This ain't very Brooklyn to you.
We top 6 in the East.
So y'all ain't a playing team. Y'all a solidified playoff team.
Yes.
Right.
And by top 6, you mean it could be 6-1 or you are 6?
We 6-1. 6-3. 6-3 because you got Milwaukee and Boston is probably going to occupy 1 and 2. So 6-3.
All right.
So you think y'all have? Hold on, Ron. Whoa. So you think y'all have just as many questions as Philadelphia?
I think Philly I think Philly has more problems, more glaring issues in terms of the James Harden issue. Obviously, we don't have as many like issues as obviously we had last year with the way that our year went.
What about Cleveland?
Cleveland is another team, but I think Cleveland, I think it's going to depend on their front court a lot. They gonna need some more production out of their front court.
They're getting better, 100%. They get better.
Yeah. I think they're gonna need some way more production out of their front court. I think we have the ability defensively all around in many different positions to pose matchup problems for other teams in the Eastern Conference. Man, I think we match up well in terms of length and wingspan against other teams. When you got a Mikal, when you got a Ben Simmons, when you got Royce O'Neal, DFS, Claxton, man, you got plenty of guys that could guard. So y'all ain't.
So as of right now, y'all not better than Milwaukee. Y'all not better than Boston. I don't think y'all better than Cleveland. Y'all not better than the Knicks. I'm not sure that y'all better than Philly. I don't think y'all better than Philly. So at best, we're looking at 6. At best.
Are you
better? You think y'all better than Miami?
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. That's a good question, but I mean, Miami got questions of their own. You know what I'm saying? With all the things that basically done passed them by this offseason. So but
they lost Gabe Vincent. They lost Strus. They
lost
replaced
Strus.
Strus. They lost Gabe Vincent, but they replaced their bench with Josh Richardson, and they got Bryant, who, I mean, that's not blowing up my skirt. All right, I get that. But with Buckets coming back this year, with Bam coming back this year, with the crew that they have, Caleb Martin's going to be better. Are you guys better than them?
I think in the regular season we could finish better than them because I don't
think they really. You're delusional, bro. You're delusional, bro. I love you, bro. You're delusional, man. You're delusional, bro.
Ticket, hold on. Like I don't think they really concerned about finishing the season like in the top seed. They finished in the 8th seed and they made the final. No,
they are. They did that because they were injured, had injuries, bro. They are concerned with that because they don't hold on. Leave. They don't want to run into a number 1 seed again and have to go on the road and do that again. They got in a great situation last year because of injuries and stuff like that. The first round, you never want to be in a situation where you fighting where you potentially got to be in a play-in and then fight to get it. Remember, they almost didn't get into the playoffs because they lost the first play-in game. Didn't they, Chilltown?
And Toronto had them in a chokehold with 2 minutes. It was down 12 or some nonsense like that. Chicago. I mean, not Toronto. I'm sorry. Chicago had them in a chokehold.
Chicago
and they let them up
on that game too. You're absolutely right, Ticket. But I think like you mentioned the injuries that they had. I don't really see them. I don't really see them getting like as healthier. But I mean, they think they can get healthier. But I think they one of them teams. I don't think they care where they finish in the Eastern Conference.
But you overcompensate for what KD and them did to start off y'all season last year. Like KD and them, the reason why y'all got off to that great start. Kyrie and all them.
KD and Kyrie.
Bro, now you gotta
wait. Did you fight that, Leaf?
Yeah, now you got to play.
Y'all was basically hanging on y'all was hanging on at the end of the season to make the playoffs. Y'all was hanging on.
Chilltown. So Leaf and my man Breezy, they fight that fact to the death. I'm talking about we on Graveyard Shift Saturday night. We fought that for about an hour and a half. They will not concede to that. Yes, facts.
If there's another month left in the season, I don't know if y'all make the playoffs. I don't know.
Nah, they was in the free fall, Chill.
The bottom line is, in terms of Miami, I don't think they care where they finish as long as they finish in the playoffs. That's what I was gonna get on. Like in turn, like us, we got a fairly new team. We have a lot. We could surprise a lot of people, bro. Like because I don't think anybody is really scouting for anything that we really doing. Like in terms of
every team in the NBA gets scouted, bro. Come on, man. Every team in the NBA is gonna get scouted, bro. They still gonna scout y'all. You mean y'all gonna be underestimated? But I ain't saying
that's what I'm.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that Ticket because according to Chilltown, we snuck up on people all the way to the end of the season. So.
No. I'm talking about what Leaf said. I'm talking about what Leaf said, bro. Leaf. Let me talk some realistic stuff to you, bro. Realistically, y'all stealing is 40 wins. Stealing. It's 40 wins.
That's a 9-10 seed ticket.
Not the East. That's not the East. That's a 3 seed.
That's realistic. Hold on, no, Bob. But it's real. Hold on.
I think that's
Bob, go do your homework. 3 of the best 4 records in the NBA was in the Eastern Conference. 3 of the 4 best. So go do your homework, brother.
Okay, not a 3 seed. It's a 5-6 seed.
Is that going to be the same for this year?
With the Eastern Conference?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Eastern Conference is just as strong. I mean, they lost Kyrie Irving, they lost Kevin Durant, but now they add Damian Lillard and they add Drew Holiday. Yeah.
Yeah, they spread it out. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. The Eastern Conference is not a cakewalk like it was in the 2000s.
Philly, and you said they're gonna win game. And you say they might win more games than Philly, man. And I don't know what type drugs you will, Leaf, man. You my boy, man. I rock with you, dog. But man, they ain't no way, man. Listen,
Leaf just said anywhere between 1 to 6. So if
Philly
y'all the number 1 seed
Philly,
in the Eastern Conference, if y'all could be the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, Leaf, you know what that means?
I said 3. I said 3 to 6 because
let's say 3
I
to 6.
acknowledge the fact that I acknowledge the fact that Milwaukee and Boston is going to be the class of the
y'all
East.
not big. Hold on, and Philly without James Harden is way better than y'all still. That's still a 40.
They're not better than Cleveland and the Knicks.
That's still a 48-49 win team. Y'all ain't better than the Knicks. Y'all ain't better than Cleveland. Come on, man. Leaf,
y'all not.
Bro, wake up and smell the coffee.
Leaf, give me legit logic how y'all better than Cleveland. Give it up.
Listen, like in terms of Cleveland, in terms of the Nets, that's fine, bro. Like I give you that. And this is why I said from 3 to 6. And
what about
gave me every reason, and we landed on. And when we finished the conversation about them, we
Wait a
landed
minute, stop
on
right
6.
there, Lee. Why are you giving me 3 to 6? You just told me that Milwaukee is the class of the division.
I said Milwaukee
and Boston is going to. And y'all not better than the Knicks, and y'all not better than Cleveland. That's 4 teams right there.
14.
Okay. So like around the 5-6 range.
No, I ain't gonna 5-6. Hold on, chill. I'm gonna finish that. Chill. They not better than Philly. They not better than Philly. They not better than the Atlanta Hawks. You go ahead and cut that out right now. You're not better than the Atlanta Hawks right now. 6. The Hawks still better than y'all.
6.
And they're gonna have a full season with the new coach Quinn Snyder. So they're gonna win more games. So they're gonna be better than y'all. Yeah, so then you also got y'all gonna be battling with teams like Toronto and them, bro.
The best case scenario is that we finish top. Is that we finish the 6th seed. That's the best case scenario. That's all I can really tell you.
I give you that.
And the word when Ron just asked you 6 being the best, you said earlier that 1 through 6. That's what you said. So now you off that.
I said 3.
Now it's 6.
I corrected it and I said 3 to 6. Okay. I said 3 to 6, but y'all gave me other teams that which I respect.
So now we off the 6. So now we off the 3 to 6. Now it's just 6.
So my final answer: 6 best case scenario, 6 seed. Everybody,
that's the best case scenario. So 6. So anywhere between 6. What's the worst case scenario? Y'all at the bottom of the East? I don't think y'all.
The worst case scenario, 10th or lower.
Okay. I actually like that. I like Brooklyn at that bottom half of the play-in tournament, but we're gonna find out. Because like I said, I'm digging Ben Simmons and Mikal Bridges in the back.
I'm trying real hard to maintain my composure up here, man. Like,
please give it to us. You talking about us about the Brooklyn Nets? Like, wait a minute. What are we talking about with the Brooklyn Nets? What are we missing that we should be talking about more?
Listen. It's the same thing you was missing when you talked about the Bulls or the Indiana Pacers and all these other teams, bro, that hasn't really done anything yet. Remind you, we still finished strong enough in the last 28 games to make the playoffs, not the play-in, not the bottom half of the play-in like you had us in this year. We still doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happened before the trade. It doesn't matter. We still finished strong enough to finish the season with 4 new starters in our roster. Mm-hmm. That's facts. That's all it is, bro. Like, that's all I can really tell you. Best case scenario 6, worst case scenario 10th or lower. That's where I'm ended it at.
When did Kyrie Irving get traded? Was he traded at the trade deadline?
He got traded maybe about
a week before the deadline?
Maybe like a week before the trade deadline, because we had the couple of games where Cam Thomas went off for 40 on the 3 games when he went off for 40. So he got traded like right before that.
And then KD
got traded. KD got traded right after the Suns game because we played Mikal And that's when Devin Booker came back and we lost that game. But that's the last game with Cam Thomas had 40.
And I think the trade deadline was the 11th of February of last year.
11 for 12. If I had to say 11 for 12, yeah. But
so that's 26.
Why you say you was gonna get mad at us though? Like, what we did to tell you the truth?
No. I think I told the truth, man. Like a little bit before in terms of best and worst case scenario, bro. Like everybody was talking about. I mean, once you had said Toronto, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, wait, hold up, no. I know we ain't down there.
But it's true, yeah, y'all is down there though. Y'all in the bottom half of the Eastern Conference, bro. Y'all, bro, bro, listen. You taking credit. Your new team is taking credit for shit that KD and Kyrie did. When y'all went over there, they were already in second place in the West. Y'all dropped from second to sixth and barely made it in. So if you talking about a whole season, Mikal Bridges is the leader of y'all's team. Y'all got a good team. I see y'all winning 35 games, 35, 40 games, man.
Well, we was fourth in the East, by the way, but because we was never over Philly or Boston.
So y'all was big. Y'all finished sixth for the playoffs, right?
Yeah, we dropped 2 spots. Yeah.
Right. So I'm asking you, hold on. So what makes you think? And then you said something else silly that made me think. You bragged about y'all getting rid of Seth Curry. Seth Curry was a good playoff performer for y'all because he's the dude that actually spread the floor and hit shots.
Who's stretching the defense in Brooklyn now?
Ben Simmons.
Mikal,
Cam Johnson.
Cam Johnson.
So Mikal, who goes off, not Mikal, I'm sorry, Cam Johnson, I'm thinking about Cam Thomas. So maybe Cam Johnson. In Brooklyn, by the way, they finished.
Cam Johnson can shoot.
Yeah. Cam Johnson is he's a borderline 40% shooter. Mikal can shoot.
Spencer Dinwiddie could shoot. I mean, you did mention Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas could shoot.
Lonnie Walker's not the one.
Hey Ron, they keep it real. They got beat. Y'all got beat in a hard sweep, and that's crazy for me. I said hard sweep, but y'all got beat in a hard sweep by a injured Philly team.
Yeah,
so, like I said, y'all ain't on Philly's level, even without James Harden. Even without James Harden, y'all still ain't on Philly.
Embiid ain't. I don't think Embiid played the last 2 games of that series.
Right. Y'all
he played game. No, he played game 3. He didn't play game 4.
He didn't play game 4. So the last.
He was hurt though. He was hurt most of that series anyway. So y'all, all I'm saying to you is this, Leaf. Being realistic, bro. I don't want you to get your feelings up, man, because y'all get the hell beat out of y'all like this year, bro. I'm just being honest, man. Y'all not gonna win a lot of y'all. Y'all don't have a chance in hell against the Bucks. You don't have a chance against Philly. You don't have a chance against the Knicks. Boston. You don't have a chance against Boston. You don't have a chance against the Cavs. You'll lose to the Hawks in a strong series, and you'll lose to damn dog. Y'all can't beat nobody. The only team y'all gonna beat is teams like, oh, you know what? Leave. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings, bro. Orlando's better than y'all. Shout out to my boy. Shout out to my boy Damo. Hey, Leaf. I want to put money. Hey, Leaf. I want to put money on that too, Leaf. I want to put money on that. I'm willing to put money on that. If you pay your bets, I'm willing to put money on that because Orlando's better than y'all too. Orlando is better. Damo, if I'm lying. Ask Damo if I'm lying. Orlando is better than y'all right now, bro.
Ticket, I'm not even gonna ass bet you with no bets, bro, because you already got ass betted enough up here, bro. Like as far as
Leaf, it's all good. Leaf, if you lose it, Shaq could just pay for you. It's all good.
Damo, did you pay your bet, Damo?
Hey, Leaf, it's a simple bet. My bet is that Orlando have a better record. I bet Orlando have a better record than y'all.
Ticket, I'm not gonna ass bet you at all, bro. Like, listen,
I didn't say that. I'm saying Orlando gonna have a better record than y'all. And listen,
playoffs, Leaf. Y'all made the playoffs last year. The Orlando Magic was 12th in the East. You don't think that y'all better than them?
We are better than them. But
put the cash up there.
No, you're not. Chitchat. No, they're not. Chitchat.
Don't try to
look at that. Hey, Chitchat. All you have to do is look at that roster. Chitchat.
No.
Who's that best player? They're not better. Hey, Chill, don't do that. Hey, Chill, don't do that. They're not better than Orlando, bro. Don't do that, bro. They're not better than Orlando, Chill. They're not good, Chill. Not better than Orlando, Chill.
You want to let your mans talk to you like that? Yo, come on,
man. Chill. I'm just telling you the truth. They're not better than Orlando. Y'all gonna hurt the man's feelings, bro. They're not better than Orlando Magic, bro.
You can this right now.
Orlando's a lot more top heavy. Orlando definitely has the better, a more accumulation of the better players. Like their top players are definitely better, But this Brooklyn roster, maybe I'm being biased because it has a lot of guys that I do actually like. It has a lot of names on it. Like, this team is relatively, it has about 10, 11 guys who genuinely can play rotation minutes. Like, they have a pretty solid rotation of players. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not going to sit here, like, I can see a 6 seed for this team. I can potentially 5. They peak at 4 for me. But if everything's rolling, guys are healthy, this is a win by committee. He said it earlier. This is a win by committee team. Not going to lie. This is a team where obviously Mikal's going to lead the way scoring, but you're going to have nights where it's a lot more guys than usual, averaging around that 8 to 11 points per game that they need and can play defense. I like this roster. Do I like them more than Orlando? As a whole, yes. I just like the top names on Orlando more and think those guys with the leaps they can take will end up making them better. But as a team, this Nets team is definitely not that bad looking at it on paper. Now, again, that is paper.
I agree with Dalmo. But our time is limited as of right now, so I want to talk about 2 guys in our limited time. I want to talk about, what do you guys think Mikal Bridges is going to do this year, and what type of season do you guys expect from Ben Simmons? I'm going to just go around the room. I'm going to ask you guys, and you guys tell me. Mars, what you expecting from these 2 guys?
I think Mikal Bridges is going to play all 82 games. That's my expectation. I think we spoke about Ben Simmons. I think he's going to be back to maybe not what he was before, but definitely not what he was last season. Anyone who's gone through back surgery knows that's not a quick recovery time. He came back quicker than I expected him to be back, and he clearly didn't look like he was ready to play. His mobility was limited. You could see his defense was not the same. Like, he came back from a back surgery quicker than he probably should have. And I think him missing the rest of the season benefited him. He gets a whole off season. I think he's ready. I think Jock Vaughn knows how he's going to use him. I think Jock Vaughn has also spoke about the fact that when you get a new roster of guys, your defense ends up being a bit more simplistic. And that's why I think he spoke about how he was switching everything last year. Because the easiest defensive scheme to implement when you have a new group of guys mid-season is to switch everything, because you don't have to worry too much. You just set a screen, so you switch. So I think this year he might be able to actually get his guys and know what he wants to do defensively. Maybe Nicholas Claxton, who I think is one of the best defenders in the league, and he spoke about himself. And yes, he was robbed of an all-defensive team. I 1,000% agree with him. And I think he's going to make the all-defensive team this year because he is that good of a defender, as a rim protector, as a versatile switchable big. He does everything you want defensively. However, I do hope you guys are trash. I hope you guys are the worst team in the league. We have your first round pick. I need you guys to win 1 game. So I need you guys to be trash. I don't think you guys are going to be trash, but I am rooting against Brooklyn in every single game they play. I need them to lose.
Mars, for the record, is Brooklyn better than Orlando? For the record, or is Brooklyn better than Orlando?
Brooklyn are the worst team in the league until further.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got you. But everything I said about everyone else remains true. I still believe I said.
Ticket, you got Mars to co-sign that bullshit that you was spitting, bro. Like, listen, look. I think
Mikal Bridges is an all-league defender this year.
Mikal Bridges.
I do.
Mikal Bridges is going to be the best player on our team. Ben Simmons is obviously the best facilitator on our team, and I think we have to work with that. Nick Claxton is probably going to be the best all-around defender on our team, and Cam Thomas is the best shot creator on our team. We got to figure out ways to use those abilities. And
we lost them. I think we lost them. We lost them. We had them and then we lost them. So anyway,
all right.
That's what happens when you're talking nonsense. You get caught in the matrix.
Yo, Damo, talk to me about how you feel about Ben Simmons and Mikal Bridges this year.
I'm excited to see Ben Simmons play. After Mikal came out and said, like, you know, behind the scenes, how good of a teammate Ben was while he wasn't playing, just how active he was with the team when he was down. He's excited to see him back, and if he's excited, hell, I'm gonna be excited. I don't know what you need to lob me for. So I'm excited to see Ben Simmons come back healthy. I don't think he's gonna be back to all-star form, but I think he should be around there. I was thinking of potential lineups for this team. I wasn't thinking Ben at the 1, but if that's what they want to rock when they're capable of doing that, cool. But just looking at the different lineups this team can run, I'm definitely excited to see what Mikal can do with a full season of being the guy for a team. It was amazing to see him shift from being a role player on a contending team to being the guy on his own team and just a seamless switch. he was able to just step into the role, said, F it, we need 30, I'm going to get 30. And it was fun to see. So I can't wait to see a full season of that. Him having a team under him and guys playing around him and seeing they can do. I'm a big Carolina guy. I'm all about Carolina hoops, so I know you ain't asked about them. But DSJ and Harry Giles are about to have resurgent years as well. I don't care what nobody say. I'm pushing the propaganda. There's a lot of Carolina blood over here. Cameron Johnson as well. A lot of hoop state legends. I can't wait to see this team play. The Nets will definitely be a team that whenever they're playing, no matter who they playing, if they're on, I'm gonna tune in for a half.
Cool. Ox, talk to me about Mikal Bridges and Ben Simmons. What are your predictions for them this year?
Shout out Harry Giles. I mean, I'm a fan of Mikal Bridges. I'm a big fan of Mikal Bridges. I'm excited. I'm always excited to see him play. I love the way he plays basketball. Plays both sides of the court. Like Mars said, he's likely to play all 82. So that's a major plus for any franchise when you got a guy like that. And then all the other guys, they see him and they want to rally against him. They want to play because, you know what I'm saying, if you got a guy out there that's working that hard, you look like a damn fool if you're half-assing it. So I'm excited about that. I don't got much to say about Ben Simmons, honestly, Ron. Like, I just got to wait and see. I have no idea what to expect. I'm far from an expert on back injuries, back surgeries, and like the recovery of that. I don't have much faith in Ben Simmons. Spencer Dinwiddie. Yeah, you know, Spencer Dinwiddie. I like Spence, Nick Claxton, Cam Johnson. I'm not sure about him. This team, though, man, the team they got. You know what they do got though? They got defense. This team has a lot of defense, and I'm always happy to see a team that hangs their hat on defense. Is that going to turn into wins? Probably not.
Yes. Hey, but see that's where I kind of beg to differ, and that's my only thing with Brooklyn. Is like
your first round pick to be a good pick.
That's why he wants y'all to suck, Lee. Not because he think not because he think y'all gonna suck. He just wants y'all to suck because he want that first round pick. That's it.
Yeah, I said that. I was very honest. I'm very open. I want you guys to be bad.
So he wants y'all to suck. Know who coming out the draft and you want to pick.
But Ben Simmons, I want Ron Holland, I want Matas Bezelis, I want one of them.
Ben Simmons did the same thing Dwight Howard did though. And it was like, you know, when Dwight was with the Lakers and he basically let Kobe Bryant punk him into playing, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was a bad move for his career. Ben Simmons probably shouldn't even have touched the hardwood last year. And I don't know if that's going to be a detriment to him. You know, I hope it's not. I don't want anybody to be injured, but I could see the Nets probably winning 34, 35 games.
Why is that narrative placed on Dwight Howard that he played bad that year? Dwight Howard didn't play bad the year on
the league and rebounded.
Well, yeah, but I'm not necessarily saying he played bad. I'm saying he shouldn't have played.
But no. I'm not saying you said. I'm just saying why is that the narrative? I guess because the super team failed, but that has a lot to do with Steve Nash, who pulled his back in the airport getting his bags. Genuinely, that had more to do with Steve Nash not panning out and a bunch of other things before I would say Dwight Howard. Why is that narrative just placed on him?
I don't know. Maybe I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You know, and the thing about that too, I didn't really realize like statistically how much Dwight really still held up that year until I had to debate Dwight versus Jokic a couple months ago on Lamont's channel, and I kind of realized like statistically Dwight really still held it up. But you can see the years after that, and even the end of that season, like Dwight probably shouldn't have been out there. He just, I think it just goes to show how good Dwight really was before his decline. Dwight was a monster, and Dwight should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And I don't want to make this about Dwight Howard, but like I don't think Ben should have been out there last year. And I think that even doesn't even like more of a disservice because now you got people like me who are looking at what happened last year, like, man, get this guy out of here, you know. And I don't think that's fair to Ben, you know. Everybody's not mentally tough, and the shit he had to go through with in the Sixers, I think you know, man, it's just Ben's in a hole right now. I hope he can dig himself out of it though. Leaf, I'm never wishing ill on your squad. You know what I'm saying? My squad came from a very dark place this whole century, so I'm not wishing ill on your team. I just don't see what you see, and I think it's kind of naive that you and Breezy are really holding on to the fact that KD and Kyrie got y'all to the playoffs last year. Like, you know, if like Chilltown said, if there's 15 more games in the season, y'all probably don't make the playoffs.
They finished under 500 after the trade.
All right, y'all. Unfortunately, we gotta go. It was a pleasure to have you up here, Leaf. We'll be back at the same time tomorrow. We will be talking about the Philadelphia 76ers tomorrow. Stay tuned for that.
Yeah, bro. Hey, Leaf, don't duck the grind. Pull up.